was that was where we got the Avali address?
That's where we got the Avali address.
Okay, and looks like we may have offered her a
favor in
indeterminate favor, but we don't need to
just
chase her
not
down
murder. Yeah.
Anything short of murder is fair.
Yes.
Hi, anonymous axolotl in the table of contents.
Oh, a non-axolotl.
It's very cute. Those little feathery gills.
So, recording is up. Who wants to talk about what happened last game?
Oh no, it's gonna have to be us again because Rebecca wasn't here for the last game.
Oh,
I'll do it this time.
Okay,
or if Liz wants to.
Oh, my notes are pathetically sparse. Please go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm going to be pulling up the notes that Hannah started and I finished, so I gotta do that real quick. So let's do this. Okay. So, previously on Coasties, the birds are going to be our soundtrack today. It's great. Yay. Okay. So, everyone's at the call, except that Corinne and Erebus have left it. Corinne grabs dinner from the kitchen and then preps to head out to the Heroes Garden. And there's not a ton of people in the Heroes Garden right now. There is one teen girl who shows up wearing some makeup and a fur and is here for baby's first romantic picnic in the moonlight in the middle of winter. That's fine. And Corinne hangs out to keep an eye on her. Meanwhile, at the Gentle Mermaid, there's a lot of food, and Erebus and Ramiel don't get to eat most of it because there's so much of it. They decide to digest first and go over to the gaming tables, where they take a gentleman for about 6 gold and leave when he starts to get frustrated. They then head over to a 3-dragon ante-table and run into Lord Cormalis. Dun dun dun. Mm-hmm. Back over to the call. Grim is doing tavern things. The tavern is really busy. And Say shows up. Grim kind of eyes her. She doesn't seem to be there for anything in particular. They bring her over a glass of Czar and some water. And then she kind of initiates conversation. They talk a little bit about... well, first, Grim asks her a question about possibly being able to be trained on a sword. And Say agrees to help out. It turns out Say is back at Alina's apartment, which we love. It's in the Court of Miracles, which Say doesn't love, but they're looking for a house, which is great. And then Say apologizes for threatening to shoot Grim, but not for being willing to shoot Grim if it had come down to it. And Grim's like, okay, I don't think you needed to, but thanks. So then...
They're both so aggressively awkward.
It's incredible. So then she assures them that if it is necessary, she will follow through, but it didn't turn out to be. And then she tells them to hydrate, and they find that hilarious and then drink more Czar. She also mentions that she has a Palantir, which is an orb that can be used to scry and talk on people and talk to them, which does not involve knowing how to scry. It's just that the object does the work and the person brings the intent. So that's fun. And Grim definitely didn't try to steal books from Regis Tower. Definitely not. Also, neither of them knows what a library card is for, and I find that delightful. So then, back at the Heroes Garden, Corinne is fake reading pages 157 to 159 of the Drow Paladin romances over and over and over again, while she waits for something to happen. Finally, a teenage boy shows up with some very ugly flowers, and is late for the date. And the reason is that he got held up at work, but he's also there to break up, and he does it in the most awkward and unfeeling way possible, and everyone hates him. So then he leaves. Corinne throws a vial of oil of slipperiness under him as he leaves to make him trip, and he has to wash his shirt now, and it's not Tuesday. So that's unfortunate.
On many levels.
Indeed. So then after he leaves, Corinne spots someone else watching the scene. It looks like a Talon of the Raven Queen, but something's off. The coloring's not right. And they are also watching Annabelle, who's the girl. And Corinne decides that now is the time to step in and say, no, I'm with her, go away. So she goes and chats with Annabelle, who is freshly inconsolable. It turns out that she bought the strawberries for the guy whose name is Tybalt because they were his favorite, but she's allergic. So that's fine and good and not a problem at all. And Corinne doesn't really know how to deal with teenage heartbreak. But she's doing her best to keep Annabelle safe from this assassin. Then back over to the Gentle Mermaid. Erebus and Romuald play 3 Dragon Ante with Cormalis, who turns out to be Dresdark Cormalis, the father of the missing teenager. Erebus does a really bad job at hiding anything. 3 9s on deception. Love that. And then Dresdark, it continues to be like disgustingly flirty toward her and very obviously disdainful of Romuald. Romuald calls him Dresden. It's hilarious. Dresdark calls him Dritz. That's not fine. Romuald takes the deck and is cheating to give Erebus good hands. So Erebus takes the pot. And then she and Romuald excuse themselves. And Dresdark still seems to be interested in engaging because he's clocked that Erebus doesn't like him, but that's not a problem for him. It's a challenge. So she invites him to dance with her at a certain point if he is available. And they walk away. Erebus explains why this man is an object of interest to her and the group, and that she wouldn't be attracted to him even if she was the kind of person to be casually attracted to people. And they dance, and it's great, and Romuald has flashcards of the nobility of Waterdeep that he's going to lend her. Also, the dealer knows what's up, and we get an excellent monologue. Back to the Hero's Garden. There's an eclipse. And Annabelle mentions that the eclipse is supposed to be bad for us, which turns out to mean that she is a worshiper of Selûne. Which is when the shadowy stranger and 2 lackeys come and make their move and try to take her. And Corinne says, no, thank you, and throws a fireball bead and then stabs the leader when they are the only one that survives the fireball. When there is fire involved, the City Watch get alerted and come running. So Corinne puts her hood back on, says that Annabelle will be safe, and then hides in the bushes to make sure that she's fine before beating a hasty retreat, but asks Annabelle not to describe her. And she doesn't. She's pretty good about that. And then Corinne's like, okay, great, all's here. But she knows that the City Watch have clocked the similarities between the Talons and these assassins, and that the City Watch will be going to talk to Ilya, so before she goes home, she goes to the court to talk to Ilya. Back at the Gentle Mermaid, once again. Erebus and Romuald have their dance. Romuald goes off to get drinks. Dresdark comes back. They dance. And Erebus gets some information out of him. Apparently, his daughter is at the Caring Hands School, which is an interesting fact, considering there is no more Caring Hands School. So that's going to be a thing we look into, but Erebus doesn't know. And then she excuses herself. She and Romuald go back to the call. And at the call, she sees Grimm and catches up with them to relay the information. And they have a very interesting conversation in which she says that Juniper's at the Caring Hand School, and Grimm is like, that's probably not a thing, but we'll talk about it in the morning. And then Grimm tells her that she doesn't have to spend time with Ramiel just because he died, and she says she knows. And they agree that they have covered that and it doesn't need to be mentioned again. But Grimm might say something else down the line. Who knows? And then Corinne goes to the court to talk to Ilya. There's a lot of the two of them being mad about paperwork, and how they shouldn't be stuck with it, and also about how the City Watch really should know the difference between a Talon of the Raven Queen and a servant of Shar by now. Also, apparently, Shar's worshippers eat worshippers of Selûne, so that's fine and not a problem. And Corinne is horrified by the details because, of course, she is. Ilya shares her coffee, and Ilya prepares to speak with the head of the City Watch. Corinne gets noticed by the captain on her way out, just enough to lend plausible deniability to her alibi, which is, oh no, she was totally with Ilya all night doing paperwork and not stabbing and firing a bunch of assassins to death. Back at the call, Erebus and Ramiel are downstairs with the patrons doing a country dance. It's not as sophisticated as the Gentle Mermaid, but that's fine. She and Corinne have a brief conversation as Corinne comes in. Some joking around, and then Corinne goes upstairs to talk to Grimm, who has blue screened of death because they have seen the whimsy on their bed. And Corinne tries to explain what the whimsy is. Grimm is a little bit slow to catch on, but realizes that Corinne has put a lot of work into obtaining this gift for them and also to customizing it to be something that they would like. So it's all very sweet, and they're very cute together. And then they also agree not to talk about the information about the Caring Hand School until the morning, because we don't need to have that conversation until then. We're not going to do anything about it tonight. And then Erebus and Ramiel close down the bar. He walks her to her room and kisses her and then leaves, and they have a very cute note exchange. And then the next morning, in side chat land, Grimm and Corinne have a very nice and sweet and sad conversation about how Grimm slept without nightmares, and they have complicated feelings about that, and they don't really know why. And because they don't know why, it's hard to explain to Corinne, so she's also not sure what's going on, but they work it out because they're them and they're cute. The end.
One is very reasonable, and no one has any lingering
No one
feelings
has
of
any.
shame
Not-
or inadequacy at all.
Not a one.
Yeah.
What
Not
are
a one.
feelings?
What are feelings?
Exactly.
And I believe Eliana was called to the court for
We can
urgent
hand
but not emergency, or
I think Rebecca, you wanted Eliana to be at the call playing, so we can hand wave it and say Eliana did a lot of playing that night, maybe not a lot of talking.
I love that for Eliana.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Love that.
She got to know her Ludican.
That's lovely. And had plenty of dancing. People dancing to her music.
Yes. So yeah, that was a very uneventful night, and nothing happened, and there was no feelings at all.
Cute. Very thorough.
You're welcome. That has been your recap for last time on Coasties. That's what you missed on Coasties.
Can you remind me? I remember whose care the school formerly known as Caring Hand School was left in. Did the school get a new name, or was that not officially established?
Not
I know we left
officially
fairly
established.
quickly. Okay, thank you.
I think colloquially, internally, they're like, yeah, we're renaming this, but the message has not really been spread beyond that group.
And we left very quickly after the handoff, so
Yeah.
we didn't stick around for
For
much of
orientation.
anything.
Okay, speaking of, morning comes. What are you all doing?
Waking up, going downstairs. Um, I think not going to go about any particular activities until others are up. So, if other people have activities prior to that, I will yield the floor.
Similarly, Erebus does not have any activities except be in a real good mood. She does her trance, does the rest of her resting, and then collects her baby dragons and heads downstairs to feed them. She may or may not be humming a little tune as she does this, and she just kind of parks in a booth with tea and food and good feelings.
Would you like to be encountered in said booth?
I would love that.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You sound happy.
Yeah, I had a great time last night.
How did your
You
how
did
did your
really
date
well.
go?
It went honestly pretty well. And Erebus has this big goofy smile on her face. She's happy that she had a good time. She's happy that she got good info for the group. Things are going better than she was expecting, and she's delighted by that. Yeah, the Gentle Mermaid is not so much my speed or Romual's as it turns out, but we still honestly came out of there with more than when we came in. And we had a good time here at the call for the rest of the evening. So, yeah, a win all around.
That's wonderful. I saw you dancing a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't want to get in the way of you having fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the music, too. I hope you had a good time yesterday playing to the crowd.
I did. I've missed the crowd. I haven't learned any new songs recently, but it seems like that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think everybody just had a good time in general. It seemed like everyone who was on the floor was having a great time, and it just seemed like a really nice, happy vibe in the call last night. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you hungry? You want to join me?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
yes. And so she gets some food, joins Erebus for breakfast.
Yeah, sounds good. And then Erebus will just be like, "Do you have any plans for?" Oh, wait, no, that's right. One thing I did find out some info. So as soon as Grim and Corinne are up for it, we're gonna need to have a group conversation. But other than that, do you have any plans for today?
I don't. I just want to talk to everybody at this point about what to do next. There's a lot that we can do in between investigating Avali and closing. I don't know if we have the information about how to close close the gates at the City of the Dead and in Undermountain. And then also the request from our Fae friend. So there's a lot to do, and I want to talk about that with everyone.
Yeah, for sure. The yesterday wasn't really the day for that. I think everybody just needed the time to get their bearings and all of that. So I'm glad that we had that time. But yeah, we do have some stuff to get done. And she kind of leans her chin on her hand a little bit here, and says, I understand that some of this stuff was important and time sensitive, and we really couldn't have done it in any other order given how everything went down. But at the same time, it's like, I just feel bad that the Kyrell sisters are still in the wind in particular, like just out there without still the threats and we don't know anything further about it and all that.
Me too, and I am nervous about Say's was it her Say's grandfather um being displeased with us for not having made any progress on the work that he asked us to do.
Well, I don't think terribly much of King Kyril, to tell you the truth, but that, I mean, he did hire us to do a thing, and, you know, Say and Pyria are our friends, and
No, I can't
just,
I can't say that I like him, only that he makes me nervous.
yeah, he makes me nervous as well. He's just, I feel like I shouldn't once again getting to my feelings about how Elven society here in Waterdeep is stupid, but it's stupid, and I should not open my mouth around the Kyrels if I want to not have that come down to me. So.
Yeah. There's there are I don't know very much about it, but I suspect if I did, there would also be a number of things that I could say.
Let's say about it sometime if you really want to be enraged.
Uh, I think anything else here is plotty, and we're going to want Grim and Corinne for it.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
I will also put on record this would be the second morning in a row that Grim has not made breakfast. I assume Philip has the call seems to be doing a brisk breakfast business in general.
Yeah.
So I assume there's plenty of food available, but Grim has not surfaced to provide.
Yeah. Grim is the one who cares about it the most.
Right,
truly.
right,
Like, Philip's
right.
breakfast is fine.
Right, and would not have any feelings about anyone not missing their breakfast. It's fine. They've got a lot on their mind, including it occurs to me that during the side chat they were pretty stationary in well, except for the part where they almost fell out of the bed, but they were not moving around a whole lot on screen. But between the end of that side chat and I think where we would find them very like dressed and very slowly they don't usually put their boots on to walk around, but I think like very like shrugging into their jacket like Corinne would have noticed that they are sore and battered and not moving quickly or smoothly this morning, as will anyone else who sees them in the next, I mean, the day in general, but certainly the next hour or so as they're sort of getting back into walking around. I have remembered that we agreed that I would not tell you what Erebus learned last night, so that you would not run out and act on it. I think we will need to... Were you getting up now, or were you not getting up now?
No, I'm planning on getting up. I am very much enjoying you attempting to touch the shows and failing. That's very funny for me right now.
They're very far away, and I was not planning to leave the house yet. Anyway, immediately. Bosun will need
are the ones that are the hardest to stretch. Like, really, just hinge your hips and just hang there for like 10 seconds.
They like glance over to see if she's joking, and then we'll do this and sort of whimper a little bit, and then stay there a little bit longer, and like wiggle their fingers in the area, like trying to see how close they are to touching to like the area where their laces would be. Bosun, you may need to tie my shoes today. Boots.
Does Bosun know how to tie shoes?
I don't think so, but we'll all find out together if he can learn. He has lots of tentacles, which is almost as good as having opposable thumbs.
Right. So I need you to roll me both. I'm gonna say like a dexterity check
For bosun?
and an intelligence check. These will be combined, and I'm curious how they will be combined.
Okay. Do you care which one comes first?
Nope.
All right. Dexterity for this is from bosun's sheet. Is 11,
Okay.
and intelligence is 4.
Oh, buddy.
There's a knot.
Corinne kind of like crawls over to that side of the bed and like is belly down on the bed, like hands propped under her chin, elbows on the edge of the bed, watching this with great attention.
Well, now I won't be able to take them back off, but that will be a problem for future. Well, I won't be able to take that one back off. That will be a problem for later on. They very slowly like push it like working their hands up to their thighs and like sort of using that to push themselves back upright.
Yeah.
We'll sit back down on the edge of the bed and sort of again very painstakingly sort of combination reaching down and trying to pull their other foot up to tie that boot themselves.
Corinne interrupts and starts tying the shoe.
Thank you very much.
Just adding to the list of favors for later.
When I will be able to move even less because I am practicing again today. Before I do that, we will need, I think, to speak with the others about what Erebus learned last night and how to proceed.
All right, that's fair.
Can you help me stand up again, please?
I was just about to ask if that was something that you wanted to do now, if you wanted to wait half an hour before your muscles woke up again and were ready for movement.
Don't think it's going to get better if I sit still for longer. So,
All right, and then
they like
shoves.
hold out their hands.
Oh, she just like shoves them off the bed, like mindset of like maybe if they're surprised and they're not expecting it, it will be easier because their muscles will just have to react. Whether this is correct thought process, we'll find out.
Oh yeah.
That shouldn't. So it's a 14. So I don't think they hurt themselves.
You don't. You land really well, but it hurts like a motherfucker. Like, Corinne's theory is correct. Your muscles do react and catch you. But it hurts.
They just whimper and lay there for a minute. And then start very slowly getting up. And I think continue to sort of whimper and grumble sort of as they do, sort of half performatively and half not. But I don't think have anything else of import to say unless Corinne has anything.
Yeah, no. She will come downstairs with them, a couple steps behind, just in case their legs all of a sudden are like, nope, we're done, and they collapse. But also like as they're whimpering, like every so often like throws in a lighthearted jab of like, oh, it's even better the next day. It hurts even more. Like, enjoy it while it lasts today. That kind of stuff.
I have done like sort of coming downstairs, sort of into the tavern space. I think is this as at this point.
Uh-huh.
I did work on a ship, 2 ships. I have done physical labor before.
And I'm sure you looked very good and very promising while doing it.
I don't remember this muscle and like pointed like some small muscle in their forearm that apparently is only is only used for maneuvering the sword. I don't remember this one though.
Well, that's used for the counterbalance. That's the blade hand. For the most part, you're not standing out like this, and she extends her arm as if in a stance. like wielding a blade. It's like, I'm sure you weren't doing much of this on the ship.
No, more of, and they sort of will take 2 steps and sort of move into like a hauling on on the line, sort of as they take the last, and sort of leaning, like sort of mock hauling a line in and leaning back, throwing their back into it a little bit, and I like as they sort of step off the staircase and see Erebus and Eliana, and dragons, and whoever else is here, and I think they just freeze for a moment.
All right. And Corinne kind of like gently pushes them in the direction of the table.
There's quite a lot of food here.
Well, we do have a professional kitchen with someone who we pay to feed a lot of people, who then pay us to eat the food.
I'll be right back. And they're going to go into the kitchen.
Okay. Corinne just kind of like shrugs and then heads over to where Eliana and Erebus are.
The available ones.
Oh, hey, good morning.
Good morning. You seem very happy.
Yeah. Everything's great. How are you?
Good. Rested well. I heard that you have some observations and new information that was uncovered last night.
Oh, yes, I do. Probably not down here, though. With a not super subtle glance around the fact that this is a very public tavern.
All right. Corinne kind of like looks back at the kitchen.
My love.
Well, I suspect that you could go up to the library and wait, and then once Grim has made revenge breakfast, I suppose, I don't know, we'll join you.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to feel. I don't want. Okay, I don't pretend to know how Grim feels about this, but I also don't want them to feel like they have to be around at a certain time to feed us. Although they are a very good breakfast cook.
They've just been very protective about it for reasons that are not entirely clear to me. It's sort of the thing that they do, and they've never really taken kindly to anyone else doing it, specifically for their people. I think the larger customer base kind of gestures around at the call at large. I don't think they give 2 shits, quite frankly.
Right. Okay. Okay. Sure. That's fine. This isn't any weirder than any other Grim info that Erebus has run into in the last month, so that's fine. So yeah, she nods and glances at Eliana. Are you done? Should we take our tea up to the library?
Yeah, I think I'm done eating. Let's head for the library.
Sounds good. Corinne, we'll meet you up there.
Very good. Hopefully it won't be too long.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah.
Okay. We turn our dishes in and grab our tea and take the cadre of dragons upstairs to the library.
Meanwhile, Corinne goes to the bar and just kind of like leans on it, like staring meaningfully into the kitchen.
Quiche is already in the library.
Oh. I think Grim is, I think we're thinking French toast. I think we're thinking, custard toast, which doesn't necessarily take too long. So Corinne is waiting. Custard toast o'clock. they will walk out with a cup of coffee and put it next to her and walk back into the kitchen without making eye contact. And then we'll come out with a plate of custard toast, 2 plates of custard toast, and we'll hand one to her and walk back into the kitchen and then return with their own plate and still in their hand and a mug of tea. Like they don't make the tea was already made. They just only had 2 hands. And we'll look around. Where did everyone go?
Upstairs. That's where Aravis suggested that we talk.
They whimper just a little bit.
All right, come on. Corinne takes one arm, looks through theirs, picks up her mug with that hand, takes her plate of toast, and then just starts like dragging them gently towards the stairs.
And to be clear, they're not objecting to going to talk with the group, but they just walking upstairs is hard.
Honestly, the more you move it, the better it will feel faster.
I am beginning to understand why you're so fond of those baths.
I honestly they're fantastic
the
at any
heat.
point in time. But yes, the heat
That's
is
all.
very soothing. Yes.
I already understood for other reasons, but why do we
There
have
is
such
practical
tall? Why do we have such a tall tavern?
Well, good news is that we're just going up 1 flight of stairs.
And then we'll have to come back down.
Eventually. Come on. And he starts
And they go upstairs
Yep.
and join everyone in the library.
Hello.
I think when Eliana lays eyes on how Grim appears to be moving somewhat gingerly,
Mhm.
are you? These don't look like the kinds. Healing magic does injuries, but I don't think it does this very well.
I wouldn't really know, but thank you for thinking of it. It's not, well, bruises are injuries, but I'll have to get used to it, so. I think I need to ask you all for help. Not with that.
With what?
With the favor that I owe.
Oh, of course.
And with the other bit. With the Say and her sister and not getting Emily killed.
We want to help with that.
Oh.
Actually,
yes,
do
we
need
were
to
all
check
there
on.
to do that.
I do need to check on Marco, actually. I sent him a cask of Amphathra wine a week or so ago in exchange for information. I haven't had anything back yet, so I suspect I may have to make a house call.
If you want company for that, I'm happy to provide that company.
I may, just for backup purposes.
Where was the house? At what you were calling?
And then I look back in my notes to see where this is. He's got an office in the dock ward.
Would you mind
He's-
looking on another house while you're there?
Of course.
Grim will scribble down the address of the house where Avilee stayed when she was with the Xanathar.
All right.
This was where I sort of blinked at the group. Yes, you all were there, I suppose, when he said Avilee's name. So we've talked about that, yeah? I don't
Yes.
just think that I've told you and haven't actually.
No, we know. You met. I mean, I don't know the full story, but I know that that is a person who you know and would prefer to not see harmed. Which I think is all we need to know for now.
Very good. I did go by that address. I don't know. She lived there a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was before she disappeared from at least the Xanathars. I don't know what time the timing of when she ditched the Zents as well, but that was the last address that Matilda had for her.
The Zents told us that she did some low-level work with them for about a year before she disappeared.
Okay, so around the same time, probably.
It seems very
Yeah.
likely that she had a hand in both plots.
I mean, that seems ill-advised, but okay.
Corinne looks back at Grim. When did you go to the house?
Not long after the party, the event, where we were given the task. Before scrying on her.
Before we went to Baldur's Gate?
They nod. I didn't see anything. But I often don't see anything.
Well,
Did you go in the house, or did you just look at the outside?
I just looked at the outside.
Okay.
It's a house.
Lots of houses are. She grins.
Certainly didn't talk to anyone.
what time is it right now, DM?
I'd say 9:30.
Okay. So that's a time that is typically late for Grim, but also this is a weird time, so Erebus doesn't say anything. She just kind of smirks to herself, though. Right. Well, that's still an important lead, and if we go back there, we might find something. So yeah, if it sounds like if Corinne and Eliana can do that today, that would be useful. So last night, speaking of our other job, the favor, at the Gentle Mermaid, while we were playing the gaming tables, Romuel and I ended up in a game of Three Dragon Ante with none other than Dresdart Cormelis. Yeah, no, it was a nasty surprise. And I didn't hide it real well, but also he didn't seem to notice why. It was more of a he likes a challenge, so he took it as a personal goal to try to win me over, I guess, situation.
Oh god, fuck that man.
Yeah, no,
Win
it was
back.
it was bad, but because I didn't have to try to be deceitful, I was able to get some information about his daughter. So, according to him, she is at the Caring Hand School, which I have been told is not a thing, and I would like to know why.
Well, it was being run by a Mind Flayer.
So
Oh, Mind
technically,
Flayer, that's that?
well,
Yep.
let's back up a little bit. Okay, so
Okay.
there was, for a period of time, a finishing school that allegedly a finishing school that went by the name of the Caring Hands School, very popular among the nobility, blah, blah, blah. Turns out it was run by a Mind Flayer,
Ooh.
and they were using the population as colonies for spawning or something. We found a couple of pools of Mind Flayer, babies? I don't exactly know how it works. Anyway, they've been set on fire. They don't exist anymore. The individuals there, it's under new ownership, we shall say, or under new management. That news has not been made widely public in Waterdeep, mostly because there's maybe a half dozen people who know that the Caring Hand School no longer exists.
Okay.
It was a commonplace for nobles to send their wayward children to be, re-socialized or what have you.
Ugh.
So there's a chance that
I believe brainwashed is the verb
brainwashed then. Depends on what company you're keeping and what you're telling them. So it's possible that Juniper is still there. It is now run by a pair of former Luskin sailors, and they've
Novelation.
renamed. Say that one more time.
Novelation.
Oh. And Corinne just kind of like blinks and then just moves on.
Elena has a similar reaction.
Grim stares at their tea.
Erebus has no idea.
So they're caring for the kids who are there now. So as I said, it's possible that Juniper is still there. It is just no longer the Caring Hands School. It's about a day's trip from Waterdeep. We could certainly ask or go and inspect and see, if she's still there. That wouldn't be too difficult to check, I wouldn't suspect.
Right. Okay. So then he must have no idea. I mean, I hope he has no idea.
Then she'll be easy to find.
Yes. And to get her to safety.
Yes, those who actually know that it's under different management, it's the 4 of us now. Bones was with us for the infiltration. Ilya knows because Ilya knows everything. And then Karis, because we used her tree magic stuff. And then I think that's it, other than the actual the sailors who running the thing now.
Okay. Well then, so if she's not still there, they might have at least some information on what happened to her and where to go next.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah, not everybody decided to stay.
Right.
There was also a number of the older children that had made it a camp in the woods, although I believe that was not likely to last long into winter.
Oh yeah, no, it's too cold out for that. No, absolutely not.
And also this assumes that she was actually there in the first place, and that he has not done away with her by some other means.
Oh.
Okay, so...
Or perhaps not done away with. That seems unlikely if, based on what we've been told.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's a terrible person, but like well, maybe he's a little bit obvious about it.
Yeah. Well, what he said during the conversation was that because how I maneuvered into talking about her was he was telling me about how things are tense in his family and like a little combat is good for I don't know, it's weird. But so I asked him if he had any relatives that he was on good terms with, and he mentioned her. And he said something about how he thought the school was doing well for her, and he wanted her to be independent until he could pick her a good husband, and didn't seem super inclined to allow the possibility that she might want to pick her own partner.
That's very common, and also it
Yeah.
makes a great deal of sense if he sent to the Caring Hands School, because I'm sure that all reports back here would have been, oh, it's done wonders for my children. There've been formal fundraising dinners held here where there have been essentially demonstrations of, look at how obedient my child is now, and that's all thanks to the Caring Hands School. So I would not be the least bit surprised.
You do remember that several of the more spirited noble children
Yep.
were sent to the Caring Hands School specifically for
Become docile.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it would be especially more likely if you had a, shall we say, independently minded child, that they would be sent off to the Caring Hands School.
Okay. Independent but not intuitive. I hate him. Ugh. I danced with him. I hate him so much.
With him?
Ugh. I mean, it was better than cards, which I'm bad at. The only reason I won the hand is because Romuald won two of them for me by cheating. But anyway, that's what I got. And
So I thought, well, and they sort of nod towards Corinne and Eliana. Well, those two are heading to the dock ward. I thought perhaps you and I might pay Karis a visit and see the
Sure.
see what we can learn about the state of the Carringham School and whether Juniper's there.
yeah, I would love that.
Also, when we visit Karis, you should all know that he can help revitalize vegetables that are past their prime. Might be a good thing for the tavern.
Don't spread that around, please. Kalindra has... Well, you've seen the out-of-season fruits, yeah?
Yeah.
So...
All right.
And they take a bite of custard toast, as if the rest of everything is... As if everything that comes after so is self-evident.
Eliana, if you're taking a look at her closely, you can tell it's not quite self-evident to her, but she's willing to just leave it be.
It's a very good connection.
Yeah.
And we don't want other people to have that connection, or at least not a ton of other people?
They point their fork at Erebus.
Got it. Okay. We got there.
Oh,
Dahlia
yeah.
was also
That was only for us.
going to be listening regarding any developments related to the conflict between the Sense and the Xanathar.
Should we go see her after we see Karis? I think we owe her a favor for stealing you away from your lunch and eating all her patsies.
Oh, she's used to me leaving. That sounded bad.
I get it.
What was that, Oleana?
Monologue token. If that's not actually a good use for a monologue token, then let me know.
I mean, it's fine. It's
Right.
fine if you want the monologue. You got them before they hit blue screen, so they actually might. It might sound worse now that I've said that sounded bad. Now I can't remember what Erebus even knows about Dahlia, and does she know anything about Dahlia? Or does she just think she was an acquaintance? I don't think I'm going to think too hard about that, but regardless, she was used to it. She didn't mind. She did take me back in after, so... I should probably thank her for that at some point. She probably knows. But still. And they'll take a bite of custard toast. And that's the end of the monologue, as I add, thank Dahlia for letting them couch surf to their to-do list.
Okay. Well, I mean, still, it was kind of her. I don't know. This is all weird to me. I am getting used to the idea of people just being around you and doing nice things for you. This is not something I'm used to.
Rem is pointing their fork at themselves and looking confused.
A general you, which includes all of us here, and me especially. I'm sorry.
If Eliana is close enough to Erebus, she will just give her a quick hand squeeze.
Yeah, and Erebus squeezes back. Just like, it's just, you've got all these nice people who care about all of you, and they've included me in that now that I'm with you, and I'm used to operating alone, and it just means a lot, and I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
It's
Close
it's
mouth.
different, and it's different in a way that's good.
Yeah, it is.
So, we'll head to Marco's and pay a visit to that residence where Averly was staying and take a look around. And you will head to Karis's and see what we can get about whether Juniper is still at the Carringham School.
Yes, and then I guess Dahlia if we have time. If Dahlia's available.
He's in the dock ward, so.
Oh, so then maybe out of our way.
Prevent Eliana and shrug. I'm always happy to visit Dahlia, but if you get there first, or I don't know if you have better ideas. Oh, I don't need to say follow your better ideas. If you have better ideas, you will. So that's all right.
We'll see if we can make a stop by. She's met me at least.
She has.
Corinne kind of just like stares at them for a couple beats and is just like, right, I'm gonna go. Eliana, are you coming?
Yes, I am. I will grab my bag and meet you downstairs.
Very good.
And not stop anywhere else along the way.
Very good. And Corinne strides to the door and heads downstairs.
Yeah, and Eliana does, in fact, do nothing other than grab her bag before meeting Corinne. Unless the plot catches up with her before she can do that.
Yeah, and Erebus will wait for Grimm to finish their food, and then they'll also head out to go see Karis, I guess.
They stand up very slowly and start to look towards the door.
Does this have anything to do with the large amount of armor and weapons you brought home yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to stretch really quickly before we get going? That might help.
I tried. Let's just
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Slowly.
Sure. Absolutely.
And we go slowly.
Okay.
Okay.
Sable is with us in tabaxi form.
Mhm. All right, so the group that's going to Karis's house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is chaos when you walk in.
Oh no.
In like usual state of
Yeah,
child chaos. or different
usual state of
child?
child chaos. In fact, there seems to be more children than usual.
Oh, interesting.
Just children running every which way. There's definitely at least three that are playing some sort of tag. One is trying to do a handstand, like aggressively, like watch me, and is trying to do a handstand and then failing at doing the handstand and being like, "You're not watching me." Karis is at the stove, which is stocked and very warm, because it is frigid out.
Mm-hmm.
This seems to be like it's probably the warmest room in the house, as she actively has some sort of tea brewing and seems to be working on maybe some potions. You all walk in, and she actually doesn't, like, pay much attention to you at first. Like, you just blend into the crowd.
Quick question. What's the age range of the kids that are currently here?
Sure, seems to be, the youngest is a, infant, that is kind of, she's wearing the infant in a sling around her, around on her front.
Mm-hmm.
She's got like a 10-month-old on her back.
Oh no. The double-decker
Double
child
decker
sling.
child sling. 0 to 15-ish.
Okay, so there's teenagers here too.
There are a
Okay.
couple of teenagers, yes.
Okay, got it.
They seem to be
But
trying to
mostly-
herd the younger children in a direction.
Oh no. Oh no.
You said it looks like that there are additional children. Do these look like kids who have come in off the streets because of the weather, or does it look like friends from school or similar?
Probably some combination thereof, but definitely you spot a few that are probably normally street urchins that are found a warm place to crash, at least for, the coldest time.
Mm-hmm.
I ignore difficult terrain. Can I make a path for Grim?
Sure.
Okay. So Erebus kind of weaves her way through and motions for Grim to follow her.
Grim is entirely focused on just sort of navigating through and has not noticed that there is a path being cleared.
I feel
Grim is
like
actually busy trying to
Grim
scope out
has
with.
seen like an urchin flop house before. Like this is.
Oh yeah,
not-
no, absolutely. Grim is in fact trying to scope out the sort of the same thing that the same question
Yeah.
that I just asked.
Yeah.
And
So Erebus probably makes it all the way over before realizing that Grim's not right behind her.
and will is going to can I attempt to does Karis has pockets or a
Karis-
coin purse?
Yeah, Karis has pockets. Karis has 8
Can I-
million pockets. She's wearing
would
an
like to-
apron of
yeah.
many pockets.
I would like to reverse pickpocket 10 gold into one of her pockets.
Sure.
Aw.
Do it up. Roll sleight of hand.
Ooh,
Oh no.
I miss. My hand cramps. That same muscle cramps up.
Roll it with advantage. I will say that one of the small children is like tugging on her and accidentally giving you a. Oh no. She like almost instinctively reaches down, catches your hand, looks at you, arches an eyebrow, and then lets it go. She's actually not going to fight you this time on it.
Okay. They instead of having been caught, they will just put the 10 gold on the counter.
She puts it back into the pocket that you were planning on putting it in. She's not leaving 10 gold lying around these kids.
That's totally fair. Grim looks. Are any of the kids currently in the kitchen sort of the street urgency persuasion?
Yeah, there's at least 2 that are like they seem to be sitting down with like scraps of paper and beeswax, like beeswax sticks. And these are, that these are not, I mean, they're common enough toys for the middle class, but definitely not something you could keep as an urchin.
Mm-hmm. Grim is going to set a silver piece on the counter, and move away from it and wait for it to disappear.
Yeah, it does
And
not
then we'll
take
set
long.
another silver piece somewhere else on the counter and move away from that one, and we'll just be doing this for the entirety of the conversation. So, and then they're gonna pause and look at Vest and look at Karis and like point from between one and the other with like the eyebrow raise of "Have you two met?"
We've met. Briefly, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
The High Forest.
Anyway. Yes.
Um,
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
What? Good morning. That's right. That comes first. Have you heard from the school as of late?
Oh, I check in probably every other day. Some of the older kids are moving out, and they're a little quieter, theoretically.
So it's going well?
Very well. They're learning actually useful skills and not obedience. Which is the least useful skill.
Grim laughs a little bit. Do you have... You don't have a roster, do you?
I do in
A listing of
my
who's there?
I do in my office. I kept pretty good notes after we took over. I assumed that some people were going to start looking for the children eventually.
Have they? Anyone?
Surprisingly few.
Okay.
I would say surprisingly. It's not, though. Not at this point.
Okay. Could we see your roster? We're looking for one child in particular, not on behalf of her noble family, but she has some long lost relatives who are interested in offering her a place to stay and want to find her.
Oh, I can definitely go over it with you.
Yeah, that would be great. Can we do anything for you in return? You seem pretty busy.
Oh, actually, thankfully the kids are home. Crystal, can you come in here, please? And a young woman, probably the same age as you all are. Well, not you, Aravis.
An adult. A young adult.
A young adult, same age as Grim, really.
Yes.
Dark skinned, kind of got like a frohawk happening. Kind of peeks her head out. Yeah? Can you keep an eye on this and just stir it and just make sure that the wax doesn't stick? Crystal goes, yeah, I can do that. Heads over, takes over the spot, and Karis will motion for you to follow.
Okay, we do.
Yeah.
Once again, weaving through children expertly.
Yeah. She
We'll
leaves.
drop one more silver piece on the counter before leaving.
Yeah, they're gone the moment you
Yeah,
turn your
absolutely.
back. Yeah.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. And you hear someone go, Crystal, that's mine. And she goes, I found it first.
I toss a silver piece to that child. Like directly
Incredible.
to, and then
Yeah,
we'll
they
follow.
take it.
Did you just spend 9 silver on this?
Well,
on
10
This?
plus that other one,
Yeah.
yes.
Nice.
So 1 gold piece in being, I don't know,
10 gold to Karis and 1 gold spread across to an unclear number of urchins, yeah.
to an unclear number of urchins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Karis will lead you to an office, unlock the door. She does not seem to be of the opinion that all children should learn how to use lockpicks as she ushers you in. Locking the door behind you all.
Incredible.
Right, so who are you looking for? And she kind of goes and pulls out a book, starts kind of flipping through pages.
Her name is Juniper Cormalis.
I don't. That doesn't sound familiar. And she looks kind of... so I did take notes of some of the children who left before you all got there.
Okay.
Looks like she's... And this is just according to the other children, of course. She only stayed a day.
Oh.
I'm just going to move over to sort of look over Karis's shoulder, if she'll allow it.
Sure.
Does it say when she arrived, approximately?
It just says Juniper Cormalis there 1 day, question mark.
Mm.
And then there's a quotation. Said fuck this and left.
Honestly, good for her.
And left not to join the children of the forest, as far as you were told. It sounds.
As far as I can tell, but let me check the druid spell list.
And she said this happened before that the party got there, right? So like presumably she was gone by the time we showed up,
Oh yeah, she was gone by the time you came.
according to this information.
Yep.
Not helpful to us, but good for her.
I could try and scry on her if you like. Wait. She kind of thinks for a moment, looks at you, Grim, and then just decides that she's not going to press that further.
Grim looks deeply uncomfortable, like beyond their baseline level of uncomfortable.
Erevis is not going to mention it, but she will subtly slide closer to Grim in solidarity. If you could, that would be great. This is our only lead, and she should have the opportunity to have a safe place to go if she wants it.
Oh, so you certainly should. I'm all for that. Give me a moment. She moves over to a side table, pours out some water, and begins to ritual cast Scribe. It'll take a few minutes. You can make yourselves comfortable.
Okay. Erevis sits down, still near Grim.
Grim's gonna move to the farthest wall and lean against it, continuing to look deeply uncomfortable.
She's got a hand on a baby head to keep it out of the way so she can do the water. Just look into the water.
Incredible, truly. While she's working on that, Erevis kind of glances at Grim and raises an eyebrow.
Hannah is so sorry, and
inquiry,
please,
not...
yeah. Hannah is so sorry,
no.
and please feel free to let me know above the table if this becomes too uncomfortable or unpleasant, because I can definitely steer. Grim is definitely not looking at Erevis.
Okay, that's fair. So she takes a few seconds to kind of try to catch their eye, and when she doesn't, she's like, okay, this is clearly a afterward conversation, I guess. Not that we're going to have a conversation because Karis is here.
Yeah, and we'll chill. Grim Bosun will go and pick up that roster if Karis doesn't seem put out by that, and bring it to Grim, who would just like to page through it and see if there's any other reference to Juniper or Cormalis, or any reference of sort of other.
Sure, roll an investigation check.
Sure. I think they're sort of specifically looking for, obviously Juniper, but also, whoops, sorry, that click drag didn't work. There's a macro bar in Roll20 now. We don't have time to figure out that. But when I clicked and dragged, it offered me one. They're also sort of looking for any reference to a Callista or Callie. Cool, I can add, so I will use tactical assessment to add a superiority die to this. 16.
Okay, you don't see any specific references, but there are notes about various places that some people have gone. Sorry, Vaxeldon has lots of opinions.
There's wolves in these here woods.
Wolves in these here woods. It seems like a large contingent went to Tikal as part of
Tikal, you said?
to Tikal as part of the Black Dragon Commission.
Oh.
I feel like Grim knows that the Black Dragon Commission, as long as you are 16, and they can be real wobbly about that 16. As long as you are old enough to say that you are 16, you can enlist and join the Black Dragon Commission. where you will
This is sort of a French Foreign Legion situation.
It is 100% a French Foreign Legion situation. That is the exact yes.
And is that an adventuring party, or?
It's adventuring, a lot of adventuring.
Okay.
A lot of like you just go to far flung off places and you do stuff, and that stuff could be engineering, that stuff could be trench digging, that stuff could be adventuring, and that stuff could be guarding a warehouse.
Mm.
But there's a guaranteed salary.
Mm-hmm. And is the Black Dragon Commission based out of Tikal, or was that sort of one of the places where they were sent after enlisting to do the things?
It's one of the more prominent posts currently.
Okay.
The wild jungles of Tikal are a known recruiting, especially in the middle of winter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tropical beaches sell real well on those recruiting posters.
Okay.
Karis kind of shakes her head. Sorry, I couldn't find anything. I must not know her well enough.
That's all right. Thank you for trying. We appreciate it.
Fine. All right. This is
going to visit the school tomorrow. I can ask around and see if anyone has any more details about her.
Are you going by tree or by horse?
By tree. Even though the older kids are home at the moment, I wouldn't leave the youngers that long.
All right. If we wanted to send someone with you, would that be acceptable?
Of course, just come in the morning. I can carry quite a few people there.
Great, thank you. That would, yeah, we'll let you know. We'll send you a note later today if we want someone to go. That's very much appreciated.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Thank you, Karis. This is great. Is there anything we can do for you while we're here?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, well, you know where to find us, I presume.
Oh, of course.
Okay. And then Erebus will glance at Grim again. Is for the are we headed out cue.
I think Grim is continuing to page through the roster and will set it down. If we don't join you tomorrow, would you mind asking the sailors if they know a John Rackham? A Captain John Rackham?
I can ask, certainly.
I would be interested. I think that's all.
Of course.
And yeah, I think they straighten up. Pause. You seem to have some extra children. Will they be staying?
As long as they'd like.
If any of them need jobs, feel free to send them over.
Will do. I know your employment preferences.
When you say it like that, I think we need to work on that a bit.
Well, don't worry. They still think several of them jokingly now call me a hag, and I had to do a little bit of convincing to convince people I am not, in fact, eating these children.
I really don't see how anyone who's actually paying attention would think that, but sure.
It might be easier to keep them under the roof if they think it's dangerous for a night or two until the being warm kicks in. Very good. Thank you very much.
Always.
They'll head downstairs.
Yeah, and Erebus follows.
Um.
And Heather, do you need me to remind you who John Rackham is?
Oh, I
or-
know.
Okay.
I was like, ooh, a deep cut. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
well, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
okay.
I love a deep
Delightful.
cut.
Yeah.
I made that have alarm bells in my head for historical reasons so that I could then
I
notice
thought it was a real name.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Incredible.
I think Grim is all set here if Erebus is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Erebus, you lost track of Sable.
Oh no. Okay. I guess
now
I'm
you
gonna
have to
go
find Sable.
find my teenager.
Oh, he's still a cat.
Oh,
You-
he's a cat. Okay.
You did ask him to be a cat.
Okay, I go looking for a cat.
Mm-hmm. He has about 4 young girls between the ages of 3 and 9 around him,
Aww.
and he is covered in bows
Oh.
and living his best life.
Oh no. Oh no, I hate to make him leave, but I gotta. Oh goodness.
Oh no, he sees you and he is going to just climb you.
I would leave him here. He looks very... Oh, no, never mind.
But
I
he
don't,
was
I don't
very
know how I get him back again later.
He's very patient. But he
Okay.
climbs onto your shoulder.
Okay. Thank you for hanging out with him while we were talking with Karis. These bows look very nice.
One of the younger girls goes, "He's the patientest cat ever.
He's very good.
If you ever need him a babysitter, we can watch him."
Okay, I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. This is so cute. Erebus smiles at them and heads out with Grim.
Delightful.
Sable is aggressively trying to get one of the bows off of him, but he waits until after they leave.
Erebus will help debow him as they walk. Incredible. Yeah, so Erebus kind of wants to unpack some stuff with Grim, but kind of senses that now is not the time. Well, she's going to do an insight check. Where's my character sheet? Come back here. Insight. 16?
Let's see.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
I was gonna
yeah.
say, look who lost some of their persuasion-based skills in this class, but it doesn't matter with that.
Yeah.
Grim seems significantly more comfortable once outside of the house. Seems baseline Grim neutral.
Okay. So yeah, this is maybe not an emergency. Go ahead.
And we'll say, I think I may have another errand to run. If it's all the same to you.
Sure. Would you like me to come along, or do you want me to head back to the call?
I think I'm all right. Whatever. Neither, maybe. Well, I'm not going to tell you not to head back to the call. That's you live there, so that's really up to you. I am going this way, and they point in what is the direction of Bones and Rudge's tower.
Do you mind? I won't tag along on the errand, but I would like to see my sibling if you don't mind me walking with you that far. Or you can just get a head start and we can pretend that I'm not doing it.
I think I have paused too long for it to look it's been a very difficult couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be easy right now. Do what you need to do. If I can help, I'm here for you. And if helping is letting you sort through it on your own, that's fine.
Don't really. Help is complicated.
Okay.
And I can't really do things right now. Much. And that's complicated too.
Erebus kind of sits with that for a minute and then says, just because you can't currently do the things that you used to do doesn't mean you can't do things. You have all these contacts that you have to help you. You have other skills. You've been just working. I can see that you're trying to do other things instead, and that's very good. Honestly, you're doing your best, and there's a lot of value in that.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think we
So-
will. I think it'll. You're gonna be fine, but it's also fine if it's not fine right now.
I think let's walk to the tower.
Okay, sounds
and
good.
then perhaps part ways from there. If that's
All right.
all right.
Perfectly. And we head off to the tower.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Corinne and Eliana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you heading to first?
I think we're going to Marco Fox.
Yeah, that was my vibe.
Yeah. So is
Okay.
this a knock on the door kind of place, or is this a sneak up on it kind of place?
He has an
what kind of
actual
vibes do we get from it
office.
when we approach?
Yeah, he has an actual office. Like, he had a business card, and like, it's presumably it's the front that provides the veneer of respectability, is my understanding of it. But there is an actual location with an address that Corinne has.
There is. You go to the location and there is an office. It is a small. There's a secretary's office, like right out front, and then there's an office like inside, which advertises odd jobs, employments, and odd jobs and employment opportunities. Specialties in acquisitions.
Corinne will just go up and knock on the door.
Mhm.
Actually, no. If it's an office, she'll just
Yeah, there's
walk
a
in.
secretary.
Like,
Yeah.
No, she'll just walk right in. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, welcome. Can I help you?
Yes. Is Mr. Fox available?
Not generally.
I recently
Bored
sent
older
him-
woman sitting behind the desk.
Yeah. I recently sent him a cask of Czar, and I was hoping that it made it safely here.
Oh, it made it. So you're the one who sent the Tsar. Thanks for that.
Yes. Yes, I was. Did Mr. Fox provide any notes or leave anything for retrieval?
Let me check. His name again?
Corinne Cathra.
Right. Is that U or an M? Or an A?
Oh, A-M. A.
A-M. Right. She pulls open a drawer and starts digging through. Kathra. Right. You were looking for information on Ovally.
Yes! Yes, I was.
Oh, looks like she did 3 missions. Here's copies of the contracts. And she'll hand them over.
Great. Thank you ever so much. And she'll just drop a gold on the table for her. Like,
That gold does not hit the table.
yep. Yep. And we'll head back outside, unless Eliana has anything that she would like to.
Next
I
time.
think she's just gonna look around to see if there's anything else going on in this office that
Sure.
would be of note.
Roll perception check.
Okay, I've got my physical dice out again, so I'm gonna roll one of
Ooh.
those. Ooh, natural 20.
Okay. You notice that. So you don't pick up on it at first, but as you look around, you notice that there's weapons stashed everywhere. There's boxes and things that look dusty and old that have better locks than they should be. And you notice a painting on the wall of just a famous landscape that was stolen about 4 years ago. You know, it takes a second to see past the illusion, but it's there. You found it. You found the Fields of Elysium, the stolen masterpiece, just hanging on the wall in this grungy ass office.
Amazing. Eliana will say thank you and depart.
Amazing. Once we are outside and a little distance away, Corinne will kind of pull out the contracts and kind of skim through for like key details.
Sure. Looks like on one it was just they needed some muscle to go threaten a local shopkeeper, a baker, to pay protection money. One was sorry, a word is failing me. It says repossession of several objects to art of high and magical qualities. Just seems like a very fancy way of
Stealing.
stealing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one was a escort mission. For to keep an eye on and report back on one Pyria Kyrell.
Oh.
Do any of these contracts mention other people who were working with Avali?
No, not specifically. It seems like a rotating crew. No specific names double up. It looks like she did the report the mission to spy on Pyria alone. And even then, it was a couple years ago. About a year ago.
Well, at a minimum, this tells us there's someone else who's interested in the whereabouts of the Kyrells.
Yes, this looks rather more official than anything that I was expecting to see.
Corinne rolls up the contracts, puts them back in her bag. Well, should we go see Dahlia or go stake out the address that we have?
I think the Well, Dahlia tends bar, and so I think the earlier we can see her, the better.
Yes, on the other side of that, Dahlia tends bar, and so she will be waking a good bit later than most.
Very true.
So I think we go check the address, stay an hour at most, and then head to Dahlia's. I think by then she'll be awake, but also it should be before she reports for a shift.
She'll have had her coffee.
Exactly. You get it.
Coffee. Did you notice the painting on the wall?
Oh, that thing?
Yeah.
It just looked like a boring ship on the sea.
It's a good illusion, but it's an illusion. That's a painting that I heard was stolen from here a few years ago. Rather a famous one.
Well,
And I've forgotten the name, but Eliana would tell Corinne the name.
oh, yeah.
The Fields of Elysium.
Well,
It's a curiosity.
yeah, that's surprising, but also not. In a variety of ways. Well, should we go check the address?
Let's check it out.
And we go.
And you go. Alright, I believe you other two were heading to the Crosp Tower.
That's correct.
Yes. The old wizard tower.
Grim, as Grim does, would like to walk in, just head up the stairs.
Yep. And Erebus will let them do that and head over to the desk. Is Fleming around?
No, it's another young intern. You recognize the young gnomish woman as Miss Honeywell.
Miss Honeywell. Okay, great. Yeah, so I walk up to Miss Honeywell. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. What can I help you with?
Is Orin Willow run around?
Oh, yes, they are in the back garden. I believe they're working on some illusion magic, so just be prepared for that.
Yeah, great. All right, thank you so much. And Erebus will head out to the
I really
back garden.
feel like I should warn you, they are picking up very quickly, and you should truly just not believe your eyes.
The last time I was here, there was a 20-foot elephant in the courtyard, so noted. But I appreciate the heads up very much.
I miss the elephant.
Yeah, it was something to behold. Thank you. I hope you have a good day.
You as well.
All right, and Erebus will head back down to the garden.
So we're gonna follow Grim first, because everyone's really trying to see what's in that
Oh, you're
garden.
gonna keep me in suspense.
I
about
sure
I love a dramatic cut. Yeah. Yeah. Grim's gonna go up to the same door they always knock on when they're bothering Bones.
Yep. Bones opens it. She's wearing blue robes that are far too long for her, mostly open. A wrap around her chest and a pair of very floofy silk pants. Just who I wanted to see.
And is the space behind her, is this the loft or is this somewhere else?
This is the loft. Why don't you come in? Reg made coffee before you left. I know you drink it.
I mostly drink tea. I only drink coffee when I have a very bad hangover.
Oh, well. And this is not
I don't
one
enjoy
of those
it.
days. Well, I'm... Fair enough. It'll just go to waste then. And she'll walk in and just let you come in.
Grim is still standing outside the door, like, thinking, like, they're processing, still processing. So, like, the response to the conversation with coffee sort of automatically, and so they are still standing there, and so the penny drops, like visibly, sort of the visibly penny dropped. He made you coffee on purpose?
No, he made him coffee, and there was some
Oh!
left over.
I was going to ask what is going on because I thought it would be an emergency. All right.
No,
Never mind then.
he's only made that mistake once.
They will follow her in then. Um,
And we found out what espresso does to me.
I think I might drink it after all.
On principle.
No, well, a principle anyway.
Principle to protect me from the coffee?
No, a different one.
Mm.
I don't have a hangover, but still, that principle. And they will follow their nose through the coffee.
It's a French press like setup. It's very pretty.
Did you actually want to see me, or was that sarcastic? I couldn't quite tell.
No, I was expecting to see you.
They sort of glance over at her. It's been a very complicated couple of days. Do I need to return? Am I supposed to be returning those books today?
Gods no. I just expected that you would be by sooner rather than later to ask questions about those books. Or to return them because you're bored out of your skull.
I'm not bored. Exactly.
It's hard to learn magic by books when you get it innately, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't know. The second part. The first part, yes. It's not innate, though. Wouldn't be in this situation if it was.
I'm using a very,
Liliana.
very liberal version of the word innate.
Oh, you're using the version that means a very incomprehensible creature placed it in my head and then removed it from my head. That version.
Or, you just pluck the weaves of magic like, lute strings. And goblins explode.
I think that's chapter 7 of the pamphlet. But it doesn't make sense because chapters 1 through 6 don't.
You don't learn that from books, I'm afraid.
How to make them make sense?
No, how to just innately manipulate the weave.
Oh.
I think you can manage it. A little bit of practice and a little bit of mind breaking.
And they sort of look at the coffee and the cup of coffee in their hand, and then they'll sort of, I think, lean a hip against the table, and take a sip of the coffee. Is it good?
It is really good.
Okay,
It's
it is good coffee.
It is good
Um,
coffee.
They take a sip and then grimace, and then take another sip. Would you do me a favor, please?
Certainly. What can I help you with?
2 favors, actually. The first one is, would you mind not, until I tell you otherwise, would you mind not telling me that I can do things if I want to? I can learn to do things.
Okay. You are a miserable failure that's good for nothing.
3 favors.
Okay.
And they are biting to not laugh. 3 favors. Not that either. Just
Mhm.
can we pretend it's not happening?
I genuinely don't know what's happening, so I am very happy to pretend it's not happening.
Thank you. And I will. If there is something that I would like other than that, I will ask you for yet another favor.
Okay.
As I say this, is occurring to me that I you may collect on these favors at some point, but I suppose we'll deal with that if we come to it.
I keep a list.
You'd think I would be smarter about that, since it is a bit how I got into this situation in the first place. But and so they raise the coffee cup for another sip, and I think catch the sight of the tattoo, the vine to ivy tattoo on their wrist that only they can see, and choke a little bit on the coffee. But the original favor, the one that is now the fourth favor, or third, I've lost track. Do you have any contacts with the Black Dragon Commission in Tikal?
She moves over to his desk drawer and pulls out a beautiful silver badge emblazoned with a black dragon with 3 sapphires set into it, and she tosses it to you.
So you are my contact now with the Black Dragon Commission in Tikal. Is that what this means?
I'm retired, but yeah, definitely. I got a Silver Star commission for, saving Port Nyanzaru. You see, if you join up, you get a salary and access to the library.
Grim is nodding, understanding. So if you're retired, do you have... Is this for me to keep?
No.
They would like the sleight of hand it into their bag.
Sure.
Do they need to roll? Is she trying to contest?
I mean, yeah, it's contested. You do need to roll.
18.
18. Okay. We roll. Grab Bones' shit. That's not even a d20. That's just a marble. Okay. Yeah, no. No. I'll get you your own.
So no, isn't she reclaims it?
Yeah, she'll grab it back. I'll get you your own, and it'll say Crimson Canary Jones on it.
Crimson Canary Jones. That sounds like someone else. That's very good, though.
Oh, was it Grimson? It was Grimson?
It was Grimson.
Oh my god. That's quite a name.
It's not really mine.
You don't say.
I suppose it could be, but it's not. So...
Be careful with that, with it not being your name. That's how you get new names.
They, glance at their wrist again. What makes it really my name? My name enough to worry about it.
If a certain amount of people call you it, then it becomes your name. Because Bones wasn't really my name for a little bit. And look where we're at.
I will be more careful.
Or don't. Collect names. Collect names like people collect jewelry. I do. It's fun.
They seem more trouble than they're worth.
Yeah.
But speaking of collecting names...
Different name for different... Just like you change your outfits.
Grim looks down at their singular adventuring outfit.
Ask Corinne about it.
I think you're dodging the question.
I'm having fun playing with you.
I know. Everyone is these days.
You're just fun to have around, Grim.
They just stare at her from behind their bangs and eye patch. Transparently not believing this.
She's having fun.
I know. I'm gonna put the coffee mug down. The... Why are you like this? All right. Thank you very much. I'm just going to turn and start walking out.
Oh, Grim, come on. You were talking to me about a favor that you need help from the Black Dragon Commission with.
They'll stop.
I'll keep it back on topic.
Will you?
I'll stop teasing you. For today.
For today. All right. And they'll turn back to face her. I need to know whether a specific teenager has ended up in Tikal with the, or anywhere, I suppose, with the Black Dragon Commission.
Okay.
Her name might be Juniper Carmelis, but what I was going to ask was whether that, I don't know whether it is typical that would be a name she would keep in this situation, if she did end up there. Or if we should not expect her to be going by it.
Any other description about her?
Did we get a description? I think.
Yeah.
I feel like we did, but I can't remember exactly what it was.
She is 16 years old. That is it in my notes, which is more than I would expect.
Extremely fair. And I don't have anything in my notes, which means that maybe if we did, Grim didn't think it was important. I mean, I'm sure there's something, and maybe if there is something, it might be in other notes, but not on Grim's to-do list. I don't, not really. She would be 16, and she would have potentially arrived around, and they would no later than, and they would say we arrived at the Caring Hand School. How far back in the it was told to Kara, so what pages relative to other dates wouldn't make a difference. Call it a month or two ago. Start there. I'll see what else I'll see if I can get a more accurate description, and or by accurate description I mean any description at all.
Okay. You said she... Cormalis, that's a noble name.
And did Erevis mention that he had just had heard from her last a month ago, according to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she would have said that.
Call it a month ago, I think, was the last time anyone allegedly heard from her.
So she'd still be a greenhorn.
And yes, the child of nobility, Waterdaven nobility, and also on the other side as well, but not Waterdaven. You can keep a secret, yeah?
I can.
And she's the child of Feywild royalty also.
Fun.
I don't know if that's useful. And that's everything I know. It's not much.
So she kind of nods and kind of sits down in one of the chairs and leans her head back. Nerexius, do you have a noble girl greenhorn in your newest clutch? Might be traveling under a fake name. Might be Juniper Cormalis. Tracking her. She kind of nods. Smirks to herself like she just told herself a joke. Wonderful. So she's in to call.
Just like that.
Going under the name Junie Wrightstone.
Junie Wrightstone?
Wrightstone.
Grim nods. That was fast.
Nerexius is the person who taught me how to read people, and would have clocked a runaway noble girl from a mile away. He's seen plenty. And he knows if I'm hunting someone, I will find them. It was just easier to give me the information rather than piss me off.
Grim nods, with full and visible understanding. All right. That's remarkably useful then.
She opens her mouth to say something and then shuts it like she just remembered she promised not to tease you anymore.
Grim just gives sort of like a very small nod. Small but sincere, small but heartfelt. I was going to say that I'm going to need to speak with her. It probably won't actually be me, but the more general we will have to speak with her. Do you... And they're like gonna hold up 5 fingers and like wiggle them. Might be a 5th favor.
You finally going to go to call?
They like pause and hold up one thumb too. Yes, that was the 5th. The 6th was... Can you tell me where to find dinosaurs?
Tariki Anchorage.
Can you drop me a map?
I don't need to. And she'll pull out another map that you recognize as a Verdi special. Of
Grim
Courtney
snatches
Answer.
it. Like, not snatches it, but like takes it with great enthusiasm.
So,
And can you...
map of Port Nyanzaru, and that covers all the way down to New Haven, which is where my city is.
Where her city is?
Yep.
And that's what she's saying the dinosaurs are?
She's saying the dinosaurs are, well, they're everywhere really, but they're
Okay.
from Port Nyanzaru. The easiest place to find them is Tariki Anchorage.
Can I get that spelling?
Yeah.
And yes, would you be able to help us get to call?
We keep a door to call. To
How much warning
register.
would you need?
You can go through it now if you would like, but I assume you would want to tell people.
There is a moment when it is absolutely unconcealed. Grim wants nothing more than to walk through this door to call right this moment. And like it is not a
go there
it is
and
not
then
a
come
like
back really quick if you want to. Do you want to just like step your foot into call and then come back really quick?
Are you still? It's still today, yeah.
It's nighttime,
You're still
but
not
still
teasing me.
today. I'm not teasing you. You
I
can't do
want-
this. This is a genuine thing you can do.
I know. I just wanted to make sure before I said I want nothing more than to put a foot to the call. and come back. But if I step through the door right now, I will not come back
Fair enough.
quickly. And I did not think that would be a good idea. Or an enjoyably bad idea either.
Eh,
But thank you very much.
I mean, your friends would come find me eventually.
Yes. But we'll be back, I think.
Remember, there's an 8-hour time difference, so, you know. Not that it's hard to get rooms.
They sort of look down at the map and then look at her. Thank you
Of course.
for the information and I think tomorrow I'll have a sense of humor again about it, some of it. But in the meantime, thank you very much.
Tomorrow I'll tease you about something else.
Very good. Thank you for the coffee.
Always.
I am leaving half a cup. You may do with it as you see fit.
I will probably drink it. It's
I am definitely not coming back before tomorrow then, but enjoy. And they'll sort of wave with the map a little bit and head out. And Grim is now heading to the dock where Grim is now also going to see Dahlia.
Okay. Alright, so let's pick up with Erebus because everyone wants to know what's in the courtyard.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. You walk into the courtyard. And before you is the visage of a black dragon. Which would be terrifying if it wasn't actively twerking and smacking its own ass.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I see why I was warned. Orin?
You see her, or you see them look up. Yep, right here.
Hey, illusion?
No, it's a real black dragon.
I'm not sure whether to say bullshit or to pretend to be impressed that you've taught a black dragon to twerk.
You should be impressed. Either way.
It is very impressive, I admit.
You see the dragon disappear.
Yeah, so Erebus will go over and hug her sibling. How have you been?
Good. It's cold here. It's really cold here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the forest is kind of the only thing I miss about Cormanthor right now, to be honest with you.
Oh, you'd be so proud of me. I went on my first adventure.
Where?
River took me to the Mykonoid caves.
Ooh, what'd you do there?
Well, we met the tribe of mushroom, the Mykonoids. They're kind of. I don't. They're like people, sort of. They're a secret third thing, really.
Sure.
They talk mostly with hallucinogenic spores.
Oh, that's an experience.
That make everyone telepathic and feel each other's feelings.
Oh, there are several people I know who would hate that. Okay. How was that experience for you?
Great, and we met this tribe of kobolds that live in like a kind of symbiotic relationship with them.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of fun. We didn't do like a lot of the like traditional adventuring stuff. Like I didn't like blow anyone up with my mind or anything. But
Okay.
I did kill a very large mosquito. Like she holds her foot out to be like the size of a small bird. Like very large
that's
mosquito.
yeah,
So,
gross. Good job. I mean, adventuring isn't always about like swanning about and fighting things. It sounds like you had a knowledge adventure, and that's great.
and River took really good care of me.
I'm so glad to hear that. I really have to meet him at some point.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, he is.
Um,
Okay.
He's he's there in the pile of blankets. And you do see, poking out from a pile of blankets, a very sleek orange tail with stripes on it, and so, like, big golden eyes just, like, watching you. It's so cold.
I feel like at this point, Sable, like, runs over to the pile of blankets and dives in.
This is...
Sable, yeah, that's not your pile of blankets. Okay.
I'm happy to share with the small cat. They're called cats.
Totally
Small
cat.
cat.
Yes.
He pats it on the head like he's just like, this is a person who has just been introduced by the concept of cats. Like,
amazing.
Pats it on the head.
Great. Erebus decides to not get into the whole draconic spirit thing right now. So you're River. I'm Erebus. Nice to meet you.
I get up and shake your hand, but I'm freezing. How is it this cold here?
Good question.
He
weather?
kind of, like, stands up, and he's got, like, Sable, like, kind of tucked in an arm,
Aww.
and, like, shuffles over to you.
Coastal winds?
I'm
Winter?
trying to get used to it. Clearly, my sister is very used to it, but I am not.
She has her own coping mechanisms. I've heard there's a heated bed among them.
Yeah, she got one from me as well.
Oh, great. Yeah, well, really nice to meet you. Oren said such nice things about you last time I talked to them.
Oren is so... And you just look, and he looks like he's struggling to, like, find, like, words.
Aww.
Just brilliant. I'm excited to show him more of the island. Or show them more of the island. That was a Heather mistake, not a River mistake. River knows better.
Yeah. That's great. I know they've been really enjoying seeing Takal and seeing it with you, and that makes me happy. So great.
Not one for books, but decent with a spear.
You know what? Everyone, it takes all kinds in the world.
My sister's insisting on showing me the world, and I'm not sure how I feel about this part of it. It seems very cold.
You might like it better in other parts of the year. It's not always this cold.
It's not.
No, I promise.
So it gets different?
It does get different. Shockingly, not every place is mostly the same weather all year round, which is, I know Takal is pretty warm most of the year, but some places the seasons change, and here's one of them. So the coastal aspect means that there's also warmer weather, but it's less humid than other places because of the breeze coming in from the ocean. That's how weather works, is my understanding.
I've seen that in Takal, at least near the ports.
Yeah.
I prefer the jungle myself.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, so come back in summer or spring or fall, one of the non-cold seasons, and it'll be better.
I will give it a shot.
Okay. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it.
No, I'm trying. I'm trying to branch out.
Branching out is good. So then I'll turn to Orin and say, how long are you in Waterdeep for? Are you going back to Takal soon?
Orin kind of shrugs. Mostly just splitting my time.
Okay.
School's out for winter break, so I don't have formal classes for another month.
Okay.
But the School of Artifice in New Haven does do winter classes that I thought about taking a few. A little bit of dabbling never hurt anyone.
Sure. No, that's completely fair. And artificers have a lot of knowledge that could be really useful. Yeah.
At least introduction to magic items be interesting.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. So maybe not this year, but maybe next year. Unless it's not too late and you want to do it, which is also fine. It's been so long since I've been in school.
Well,
I don't even know if they do school the same way they did when I was a kid.
well, there's 2 semesters. There's one in the fall and one in the spring,
Uh-huh.
and a nice long break in the middle.
Honestly, that sounds awesome. But yeah, so, okay, well, I mean, I mostly just wanted to say hi. I feel like I've been out of town basically for the past 2 weeks straight.
Well, why don't you come say hi, and River, why don't you go inside and warm up? River just kind of gives you both a salute, and he's like, here is your cat.
Thank you very much.
Holds it out.
He takes Sable. Yep.
He pulls
takes
off a blanket and then puts it on Sable before giving you a wave and heading inside. He's very gamely trying to stay outside for Orin's meditation and practice, but he is not built for the cold.
That's fair. Once he's out of earshot, Erebus kind of points after him and is like, really nice guy.
I thought you'd like him. He's kind of very similar to you.
Yeah, you said. He's
bit more happy when he's in the wilds of the jungle than in the streets of a city, but
yeah. Well, I didn't think I'd be happy in the streets of the city, and yet here we are. Although, again, I haven't really been here for the past couple weeks.
Anything interesting?
Yeah, there's some stuff going on, and Erebus kind of gives them the lowdown, not going into a ton of the more confidential Kyrell-related stuff, just because that seems like a not safe thing to just tell people. But she relates, like, going to the High Forest and to the Vistani party and Yeti hunting and a bunch of the other stuff, and then just says, I think we'll be in town for a few days at least. Of course, you know, things can change on a dime, but we do have some business that we have to take care of in the city. And as of this time, nothing else pressing elsewhere, so.
Well, I'm glad you'll be spending some time here.
Same. It's just been hopping from one place to the other, and lots been going on. It's been a lot of change all at once, and it's not bad, but I'm not used to it, and I'm real tired, Orin.
Oh. I'm sorry it's so much change all of a sudden, but you seem to be coping pretty well.
I'm mostly glad, but it just seems like a lot all at once. This wasn't me 6 weeks ago. And I don't hate it, but it is very different. And I guess I'm kind of in a relationship with Ramiel Taldore now. I guess.
Wait,
we
what?
haven't had a conversation. I told you about Ramiel, right?
I think you may have name-dropped him, but kind of in a relationship needs a little bit more,
Okay, well, we haven't had the, like, define the relationship talk yet, but we've agreed that there's mutual interest and we had a date and things are going in that direction.
Well, good for you.
He seems to have feelings about me potentially being in interested in other people. Which I'm not, but, you know.
Taldore.
Yes! Taldore. You know that family, right? Or you've heard of them?
Heard of them through Bones.
Okay, yeah. No, Bones knows them very well. Yeah. So that's a development that is happening, and I'm happy about it, but also it's a little scary because feelings are hard, and, yeah.
He's an elf, right?
Yes, a drow.
No. Oh.
But a drow who's like 30, and I'm not 30. So there's also that.
There's also that. Wow, 30.
Yeah.
So, little bit of cradle robbing.
Okay, listen.
He
This is,
he can walk,
I
right?
I know. He was.
Knows all his words?
Yes, Oren, he knows all his words. He is an adult by the standards of the way that he was raised, which was by humans, or humans in ASMR. But he grew up in a family that expects you to be an adult by the age of 18.
Jesus. I couldn't. Sounds so rushed.
I know, right? I know. Like, how do you do that? And like, obviously, people do that because they do that all the time. But it's weird.
It's so weird.
But also, he's definitely an adult. I don't understand.
100% sure he's an adult.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, 30's not an adult.
Yeah, it's not like he's a teenager. And like, there's... Because it's... The thing about being all around places for the last many years is that on the one hand, like, not a ton of people are going to be as far advanced as I am just by the fact of having been around for a long time. But on the other, because we have more time, we can go slower. So, like, I'm not really that far ahead of 30-year-old humans in a lot of ways, except for the fact that I've been here a lot longer. But also the fact that I've been here a lot longer is that I've seen a lot of change and had more
coping mechanisms.
things.
Did you notice that we just generally have better coping mechanisms than other people?
Yeah. Yeah.
So weird.
For sure. It's so weird. So like in some ways it doesn't matter, and in some ways it does. And like, I just have to not think about it because I don't want to take agency and respectability and
right, because like
respect from the people who clearly have competency and adult skills.
Adults.
Yeah.
Just rushed ones.
Right. They're like quick fried. Oh God, no! I don't forget I said that.
No, I'm going to steal that because I mean, you know, I'm dating River.
Right. And like, I don't have a problem with that. You guys seem to get along really well.
He's Bones' little brother.
Yeah. But like, you get it, right?
Yes, he's
like, it's like on a lot of ways he's on the same level as you, and on the other you're like,
he's like 20 something.
Yeah. Yeah, which is like, again, like, it's not that different from people your age in our community, but it's also different in some ways. So, like, I want to respect that, but also I don't want to ignore the things that I have that Romuald doesn't, you know?
Well,
so I'm worried if we get involved that I'm gonna, like, stealing his youth or something. Oh no, I shouldn't have thought about it. Oh no.
Well, the good news is he's got a lot left.
I mean, that's true, I guess.
He's got a lot of youth left to go.
It's true. Why do we why is this us? Why do we live for like 750 to 1,000 years? Who needs to live that long?
I genuinely, you know what? I don't like to think about it very much.
No, me either. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to...
No, you know what? I caused this existential crisis, and I will live with that fact. We're going to take some deep healing breaths, and...
Okay. This is fine. This is fine. We're not getting married tomorrow. It's fine.
Not look directly at it, and we won't have to acknowledge its existence.
Okay.
How's that for healthy coping mechanisms, I
Great,
suppose.
love that. We will continue to unpack this as it goes and
Over
do it in
time.
the healthiest way possible. Yes. Good. Okay. I'm glad we had this talk.
Me too. With our our mutual baby boyfriends.
Yeah. Oh God, no! Don't say it. Don't say that ever again.
I can't. You put it in my head, and now I can't get rid of it.
I was. Oh my God. Do you want to go out for drinks that are not snake juice?
Yes. You know what? Let's indulge in some unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Okay, great. Let's do it. They go out to have a drink, I guess. Oh boy.
So as you walk inside, because inside is temperature controlled, so you see that River, he's wearing like a tunic,
Yeah.
but it's immediately like he's got like that swimmer's body, and you very clearly see like why.
Yeah.
And Oren's
Okay.
like, okay, I can't. You know what? I can't with you right now. It's nothing to do with you, River. Nothing to do with you. I need to go have drinks with Erebus.
Drinks will fix it. Very nice to meet you. You're great. Thank you for the blanket.
He looks so confused and nods.
Incredible.
Right, I'm gonna
Poor
go.
River.
Right, I'm gonna go annoy Crosp then. The female one, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Tell Bones congratulations and tell her I said hello.
I will.
Okay, cool.
You two have fun.
We will. Thank you.
I'll send a search
Super
party out
enthusiastic group.
after you if tomorrow morning happens.
Okay. It'll be fine. We're good. We're responsible.
I very much believe that. All right, you
Amazing.
two. Where are you going to go drinking? Are you just going to go to the last call? Because it's, I mean,
Yes.
It's the
I
last
guess
call.
we are, unless Oren has a favorite place closer.
does not.
But okay, then the call it is, because that's where Erebus knows there's drinks.
Wonderful. So the rest of you are heading to Dahlia's.
Oh my god.
That was amazing.
Well, I think that was so good.
It escalated so quickly.
I didn't know that was gonna happen, but I am delighted.
I love
know,
that
right?
for all of us.
I genuinely don't like the layers in like we are so healthy and have so much healthy cope. Like they're both so right and so wrong, and we just don't have time to unpack that. But I'm so looking forward to continuing to do so at great length in the chat.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
It's like a pair of therapists then who just realized that maybe their coping mechanisms aren't healthier than everyone else's.
Now all we need is Grigori.
Oh my god.
Where's Grigori when we need him? Anyway, yay.
So I think we were actually going to out Avali's last known residence.
Oh, Lavely's last known residence for a little bit.
That's right, because you were going to let Dahlia sleep it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that'll sync you up really good. You find a flop house. It is full of people, cheek to jowl. Like, there's not really a single spot where there aren't, like, isn't a bedroll plopped or, it's full. Are you guys going inside or are you just staying outside?
I think Corinne would like to do a scan around the perimeter first.
Yeah,
Just-
I'd like to watch the outside first.
Yeah. Just to see, like, are there any tattoos on any individuals that are coming or going that look like they might resemble, I don't know, a snake with wings or a circle with a bunch of spokes coming out of it? Maybe it's a beholder. I don't know, theoretically.
Like that.
Yeah.
This
Or any
primarily...
other symbols of different criminal factions.
Yeah.
You do
Tentacle
see
monsters, maybe. I don't know.
you do see several snake tattoos. Snakes seem to be a big presence at this particular house.
Okay. Hmm. Corinne kind of looks at Eliana, just like, so she was here last a year ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you think anyone here was there a year ago?
I'm getting the sense that they probably weren't.
I might try and ask someone just in case. And so I think like the next person that
Oh,
walks past, I think Corinne will try and kind of catch their eye and like wave them over, like you over there, come here.
Yeah, he comes over. Yeah? What can I help you with?
Um, how many of you have been here longer than the last year?
Hmm? No, me and my family have lived here all my life.
Insight check.
Okay.
also insight checking, so take
Yeah.
advantage.
Okay. Yeah, this is crime. Crime. I don't know.
Well, to be a
Uh,
family.
crime is a family.
Crime is a type of family.
Yep.
You look really well dressed and you're asking questions.
Yeah.
He's fucking lying to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. Okay.
Got
So
some-
she pulls out a gold piece. And it's just like, in case you need your memory stoked. When did an Avali used to reside here?
Takes the gold piece. Thinks for a minute. That's a name I wouldn't go saying too loud, love.
Why's that?
What did she do?
That's a backstabber.
Oh, what happened?
Let's just say she don't, not a good listener. And, maybe it's good she don't show her face anymore. Just saying.
Corinne will produce one more gold piece. Anything specifically that leads you to believe that she is a backstabber?
He
Any
takes,
rumors you've heard?
takes the gold piece. Yep. Got one of the blokes killed on one of the jobs. Not one here, though. For the other.
Do you mind
Something-
repeating that, Heather?
Off the books.
So she got someone killed on a job.
Yeah. A job that was off the books.
Okay. Know anything about that? The specifics of what the job entailed? Or know someone who might know?
Give me a minute. Double checking my notes. Supposed to leave something in an noble's house, and she didn't. Instead, she caused a ruckus and got someone knifed.
How long ago?
Bit.
DM, as a member of the nobility, do I know of any incidents that sound like this particular descriptor?
I mean, every once in a while, there are break-ins to noble houses. But They are dealt with swiftly and not very publicly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anything specific, but you know that this type of incident happens where there are break-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And if the perpetrators go missing, they go missing. And no one asks a lot of questions about that.
Okay. All right. So then, following up on Eliana's question of how long ago, he says a bit. Corinne will just ask, would you say about a year ago?
Yeah, about a year ago. She's been smart not to show her face since then.
And Corinne will kind of glance at Eliana to see if there's anything else she wants to ask.
Did you know her, or did you just hear about her?
You just heard about her?
Well, it seems she's up to some of the same tricks. And she watches them.
Right. Maybe make yourself scarce. I won't tell the blokes that you got gold pieces in your pocket.
Appreciate your time, sir. And will kind of like nudge Eliana, like, we're moving on.
If she's able to pick up on these social cues decently enough.
Yeah. And we depart.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say you all arrive at Dahlia's about the same time.
Cool.
I think you all spot Grim before they spot you, if you want to do anything with that. Based on passive perception alone.
Yep.
Yeah. Hi, looks like I guess we made it here, but both made it. You haven't been inside yet, have you?
Grim jumps him. Startles. I was going to say, what are you doing here? And then I remember that I asked you to come here.
Yeah.
I'm here for something else. It would be strange if I waited outside and then went in when you were done. Yeah.
I was going to say I was going to say, is this a everybody go together thing, or is this a us first and then you thing? But it sounds like it's the first one.
Well, I don't mind if you're present when we ask about the gang war pieces. If you'd like us to leave after that, we can.
Yes, I think, yeah, that, probably.
Yeah, that's all right.
Corinne knocks on the door.
I was just going to say, DM, is it late enough that we would expect Dahlia to be up
Yeah, it's
by this
like,
point?
It's like
Okay.
It's like noonish.
Okay. Yeah. I think as Corinne knocks, Grim is just reaching for the handle. And just opens it.
Corinne just kind of shrugs and follows their lead.
Hello.
Yeah, Dahlia will be there. She's got lunch prepped. The kids are working quietly. Just a nice break for one of you. working quietly at the table, very excitedly scribbling on pieces of paper. Dahlia smiles. Oh, glad to see you're back.
Um, and like glances at Camilliana, glances back at Dahlia, points at the kids. I'm going to talk to them, and then crouches down.
Corinne just kind of like sighs and is like, "Hello, Dahlia. How are you doing?"
Wonderful, darling. How are you?
Oh, just work. Have you met Eliana?
I think that we have, but very briefly, perhaps. It's good to see you.
Definitely at the Kyrell party, at least.
Oh, yes. That was a blur in some places, but it did look as though you were having a good time.
It turned into a good time eventually.
Yes.
Yes, after all the attempted murder, which, speaking of attempted murder, we are looking into some threats made on some certain individuals within the elven nobility. I know that Grim had potentially asked you to keep an ear out for updates around the gang wars going on. Is there anything new that you've heard in the last couple of weeks?
Another bar got hit, poisoned.
Oh,
That was not great. 2 died, a lot of sick. We had to retest all of our alcohol.
Ugh.
Flare-ups here and there with fights. We had to hire another bouncer. I haven't heard anything about the Kyrell sisters, but I'm sure one of them is keeping under lock and key, and another one went missing for a little bit.
Yes, that's unrelated. She's been retrieved. It's fine. With the poisonings, is there association with the bar that was hit? Are they affiliated or formally or informally with either of the factions? Do you know?
Informally, primarily. One was a Bragendarth bar full of drow. I think it's a bit ballsy to poison a bunch of drow, but there you are. And the other, I think, was Zent's.
All right.
So either Xanathar or somebody trying to pin it on Xanathar.
Shit has remained thoroughly stirred, at the very least.
Indeed.
That's one way to put it.
Well, I know that Grim also had an errand. They were running over here, so I won't keep you longer. But if you ever get a free evening, from what I can tell, our bar is pretty safe in terms of its alcohol quality and toxicity. It's just the regular sort of poisoning you get if you drink too much of it.
Above
Kalindra
the table,
tests.
pause.
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I can't remember whether we came to any conclusion about whether we wanted to ask Dahlia about Avaloy.
I don't think it was ever discussed, or at least I don't have a memory of it.
I
Okay.
don't remember it being discussed either. So I think it's no decision has been made.
Okay. My instinct here is it's a fair question to ask, but that with party dynamics being the way that they are, it's telling me it's not a good idea to be the one to ask. Um,
I mean, Corinne is not thinking of it as a question to ask, so if that is something that Eliana would like to ask about, as far as I'm concerned, she's more than welcome to. I think Corinne's
Okay.
mindset is just that, like, she doesn't think that Dahlia will know anything. She may or may not be correct in that assumption.
okay.
And I think like it is not I can't remember what Grimm has told the group in general about Avalie, but it certainly is not a secret that Dahlia knows them well and is likely to know things about people who are important to them. So I can't keep,
Okay.
if that is a connection that Eliana has enough information to make, I think Grimm is not likely to be. I think she has plenty of reason to think that like this is a person that Grimm would both trust and would understand someone asking.
Okay. Okay. I think that it's more like if Grimm's going to be upset with Eliana for asking, I want to know that before I step on it.
I can't think of any reason that they would be unless she would like ask because she saying I would like to murder this person, but I don't think that's likely.
Okay.
I think she's probably gonna. I think it's probably likely to be just fine.
Okay, thank you. All right. I think I'm okay with dropping back into character again, and I also think I interrupted you, Heather. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. I do have. So, back at the Chiral party, we were actually asked to investigate the gang war and start trying to get to the bottom of it. And I think I was wondering, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but have you heard anything about Avalie's whereabouts or activities?
No, she must be keeping herself quiet. Though whoever's doing this is doing a very good job of keeping themselves quiet, so.
Yeah. Um, there we were asked to look into her as somebody who was possibly connected with these poisonings and with the gang war, and we're not coming up with a whole lot. Thank you.
Of course. Sorry I couldn't be more help.
No.
And then I think we depart.
Okay.
Lingers, like I think has picked up a crayon at this point and is coloring,
Mhm.
and like we'll sort of wave to Eliana and Corinne without looking up.
Elena waves back, even though Grimm's not looking up.
And we'll wait for the
She's
door. Yeah.
going to come sit.
And they'll wait till the door closes. I think they're just going to keep coloring, without quite looking up at her either.
1 minute. Children, why don't you go pack a bag, because you're going to On's house tonight. Both kids get really excited and head into the other room.
Whose house?
On, my boyfriend. You know.
Oh, so it
Lord
didn't work out
Osh-
with
On's his,
what?
On's his first name.
Oh. Huh. So it did work out with, at least so
It's
far.
working out for now.
Well, that's good news. Congratulations. Well done, me.
Well done, you. Good choice.
Well done, you also. More to the point, but also well done, me.
He's very fond of the children, and
Well, he should be.
with things being a little dangerous, when I'm working, sometimes I prefer to have them at his house.
And he's a good influence on them. Or they're a good influence on him.
I think
Or all of the above.
yes. They pull him out of his shell, and he teaches them about the library, and they read books and eat fancy food and learn how to dance.
Well, that will serve them well.
Yes.
All of them.
Chameleons.
That's very good. Very glad for you. And them. And him, I suppose. No, yes. Also him.
Also him. He's very lucky.
He is very lucky. You can tell him I said so.
Oh, I shall. All right, Grim. What's going on?
It has occurred to me that I don't know that I ever thank you properly for letting me, and sort of like gestures with the crayon over their shoulder in the general direction of the living room couch. Letting me stay after the rabbit and everything. And
You're my friend, Grim. She reaches over and kind of gives you a squeeze on the hand.
a squeeze on what?
On your hand.
I think just take her hand and return the squeeze, like holding on just a little too tight, and for not making.
One of my
That it was
dearest
just-
friends, even.
I know. I'm sorry. I should have said thank you. There as well, but
Your
And for
thank
not
yous are...
making-
You say thank you by action.
yes. And for, but you also said what you have to say by letting me stay and not making a fuss of it and letting me just be here and just be even when what I was being was miserable. I don't know entirely. They all want to help very much. And it makes me want to crawl out of my skin.
That's because you're a feral little street cat, Grim.
And
And I love that about you, by the way.
thank you.
But sometimes, when you're hurt, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to make eye contact with it. You just want to curl up and heal and be alone for a little bit.
I nod. And
Sometimes,
you understand that.
Well, yes, because I'm a bartender and I serve feral little street cats that have all grown up and learned very unhealthy coping mechanisms.
But not everyone understands that, and I don't.
You
Turns
might...
out that when they live with you, you can't just ignore them until you feel better.
Okay, you might have to use your words and say, I just need some time to process.
What was the last bit? I just need some
Time to process. I know.
And they're going to want to process out loud.
Well, then write it on a piece of paper and stick it under their doors. And then they could process with each other.
They brighten just a little bit. I come all the way down here, and then it's very... I feel like it should at least take you longer than it took me to walk here to solve my problem. It's really not fair. Especially since I can't just ask you from many words away now. I have to walk all the way down here, and I have to walk all the way back,
Mm.
thinking.
That's the cost. And then you have to spend that time thinking about the advice that I just gave you.
It's really not fair. But they're sort of relaxing a little bit. And like, we'll let go, pat her hand and let go.
Do you want to stay in color for a while?
I would like to stay in color. I was going to say I am supposed to go be beaten about the head with a sword, but I think I would like to stay in color for a little while first, if that's alright with you.
Color, then concussion. Doesn't work as well the other way around.
And then if I'm beaten around the head sufficiently, I won't have to talk to anyone because I won't be able to make words. So that's alright.
No. As long as you got a decent enough person to beat you around the head. Are you paying for this? Is this like a new thing you're trying, or?
New thing that I'm trying.
Okay.
The idea is that I will stop them from beating me around the head, eventually.
Eventually.
But that turns out to also take a bit of time to learn, so.
Well, remember your safe words.
Basilisk, yes.
Basilisk.
It's really not a good one. Too many
syllables on that.
I've moved on. You wouldn't know that, though. And they, yeah. I think they just keep coloring for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, she'll pick up a beeswax crayon and color with you.
Delightful. And they will stop off at the court on the way back to the call eventually to fighter practice, but
yeah.
I think that doesn't need to be on screen unless Say's going to get kidnapped or murdered.
She doesn't.
I don't.
She's also very, very... You don't get that she's in a bad mood, it's just that she's very matter-of-fact when she's teaching, especially with swords, and does not spend a lot of time with the words.
Delightful. Grim is so relieved.
She's not really in a talking mood when she's like, this is how we sword, this is how swords work. Teaches you some good drills, does express that she wants them done every day.
They are also likewise not very talky, but are
I feel like
a dedicated student. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's a quiet but efficient practice.
They might whimper. They might be like a tiny little whimper of like every day, and then they like shake their head and nod.
We practice every day or we die. Perfect practice makes perfect. Now get that arm up.
They whimper again and lift their arm. Delightful. And so they would want to try to catch everybody this evening to let them know about the Takal thing, but nothing until then.
Nothing until then. Yeah. I feel like Orin and Erebus are not being slow about their alcohol intake.
No, probably not.
No, I feel like by the time everyone catches up, they're a couple shots in.
Yeah, no, they are. Like Erebus is fully aware that she's a lightweight, but also fully aware that she is overthinking this right now, and so it's like, it's time for shots, and then we go to something slower.
Shots, yes. So, Corinne and Eliana, you come home to Erebus and Orin doing shots at the bar.
Oh. Seems a little...
What happened at Karis's?
Not everything's fine at Karis's. It was after Karis just had a small existential crisis, but it's fine. Nothing.
Fucked up. I fucked up.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Orin, what did you do?
I said the thing, and that broke us.
But it needed to be said, and we're getting through the existential crisis, and then it'll be fine. We just gotta do the shots first. Cheers.
Shots first!
How many shots have you done?
How many glasses are in front of them?
2. Four.
How many glasses
The
are in
one
front
that
of
you
them?
just did?
Four. There's 4 glasses, so they've done 2 shots each.
Okay.
Right. Okay. What what is happening?
See, they're perfectly reasonable adults, and they're grown.
Yeah,
See,
exactly. They're River's age.
yeah, that's
But,
they're-
so they just get there faster than us.
right.
That's all.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh gods.
Erebus
So-
is not laughing, but I can't breathe.
You know what
Yeah.
will make this better? You know what makes this better? You know this makes
What?
Do not say a third shot. A third shot is not going to make this better.
Tequila.
No.
Tequila!
Tequila!
Oh gods.
Tequila! Tequila! Tequila!
It is
No,
2
no.
p.m.
Margot! Tequila!
Margot, water down that tequila by about 50%.
Margot nods to you and just pours out of the bottle like it's been watered down.
Yeah.
They're just lightweights because they're elves.
All the willow runs are lightweights. It runs in the family.
Mm-hmm.
So, question.
Yes.
When you
Answer.
say... Okay, great. When you say that we're reasonable, rational people, and...
You're very adulty adults.
Yes.
Okay, thank
exactly.
you. Great. You also seem to be holding up very well as adults. And I'm sure what you've been discussing is adult decision making.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Correct.
Yes.
All right.
That.
Would that adult decision making perhaps involve who you're dating?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have
okay.
baby boyfriends.
I know.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you say that you have baby boyfriends, you're also saying that we are also infants. And that's really quite insulting for...
Exactly. See, that's weird.
Right. Like that. You're an adulty adult.
Yeah.
So, you realize that you are speaking of individuals who have full faculties and
Yep.
are able to give informed consent
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and would not be doing whatever they're doing if they were being pushed or forced or otherwise
You ever tried to force a cat to do something? So hard. I was trying to get him to wear a coat, and it just wouldn't work. And I just was like, it's cold, though. And he didn't understand what coats were. He said, why? I can't be with my arms.
I think that is a climate issue and familiarity issue rather than an adult.
Oh, yeah,
indication.
no. He's just, I was just saying, you can't get him to do things he doesn't want to do.
Yes, exactly. And that is a marker of being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's like I said. It's
Or a
not.
cat.
It's not a bad. It's just a little weird.
Just,
But
Like,
then we
you
think too
wonder-
much about it, and then it's extra weird.
If you wanted to be you came out into this part of the world, I would say at least in part because you wanted to be able to meet new people
Yes.
outside of your community. And that comes with it meeting people who are adults under different circumstances.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like that. You're smart.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say earlier, but better.
You have
Thank you.
you have the emotional intelligence. Emotional.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Just faster.
That's
I
fair.
try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, it's better. They agree.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
We should celebrate.
Tequila.
Tequila!
Water.
Water.
Water first. And Corinne signals to Margot, like, please pour the largest glasses of water for these two dummies.
They both get big glasses of water.
Erebus doesn't care. She cheers with it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So, cheers.
Adulthood.
Adulthood.
Except you're still not there yet, but technically you are. Haha.
Well, then your boyfriend.
Oh, no, I hate you.
Fucking elves. Corinne just goes upstairs.
Eliana is gonna stick around and supervise.
I don't know if it gets better or worse. I think it just stays the same.
I was gonna say, it sounds like, well, Grim, I guess it's probably a couple hours behind you, so that's nice.
I think they're done drinking by the time Grim gets back.
Yeah.
And then there's been enough water that Erebus is like, I'm a dumbass. Can I please have a lesser restoration?
I would also like to beg for a lesser restoration. What?
There are times as though I feel as though my talents and abilities are being taken advantage of. Eliana said as she left the school's 7th turn.
Eliana, I love you and appreciate you, and your talents are wonderful, and thank you.
You're a good friend, Erebus.
You're a good friend, too.
You're a goddess. You walk on water. Probably. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Okay.
I like you.
So we're good, right?
It was a good time for you to take a nap.
Yes. Okay. Can you get home okay? Do you want me to walk with you?
No, I'm fine. I'm sober now.
Okay.
As one
Great.
should be at 4 in the afternoon.
Yes. Let's not have any more midday existential crises. How about that?
Let's save existential crises for reasonable times of the evening.
Great. Love that for us. Okay.
For the middle of the night.
Yes. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully in a more rational manner, and please give River my regards.
Yep, I definitely will. I'm not going to explain any of this to him, though.
No. It's it's weird. Shit. Anyway,
Nope, we're not retreading these old paths.
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We've gotten over it. We have, with the help of our friends, gotten past this and reached a reasonable conclusion, like the reasonable adults that we are.
Exactly.
Okay. Great. I love you. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
And then Erebus turns to Eliana and is like, I'm so sorry that you had to see that I said any of that.
I'm so sorry that you were in a place where you felt like that was something you needed to do.
'Cause, like, everything was fine, and then they said that thing, and then my brain broke, and it shouldn't have, because logically I know that you're right, and that's the logic that I operate by all the time, but also, if you think about it too hard, I don't know, I'm really tired, but I treasure you, and you're my friend, and, thank you.
Sometimes brains break, and you were able to have it break when you were with Oren, and then with me and Corinne, and not when Romiel was around.
Yes, thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh god, what if he hurt? Oh no, it's fine. He's an adult.
No,
it's fine.
He didn't.
Yep.
He didn't.
He didn't hear it.
You're
and if
allowed
we have to tackle this at some point, we'll tackle it then, and it's fine.
You are allowed to work through your feelings.
I am. I do not need to include him in all of that.
Yeah.
We're barely dating. I like him a lot, but we're barely dating.
He seems like a good fella.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's great, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you helping me get through that.
You're welcome.
Is Corinne pissed at me? I don't know.
No, she's She's not.
Okay.
I don't think
She
she
just-
is. She's not.
Yeah, but that was an awful lot of feelings that she wasn't expecting to run into, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Cool.
well, she deals with it.
Okay.
She's
feel like-
managed. She's managed me for this long. It's fine.
Eliana, you are a gift. That's
Thank
all I have
you.
to say. Yeah.
I
Thank
feel like
you.
this is about when Grim is getting back.
Rim logs is move. I think is moving more like they're not they're moving, they're not as nearly as stiff as they were now, because I imagine they insisted on additional rounds of
Stretching, yes, yeah.
and like they were exercising, everything got as loose as it was gonna get. They've been walking since, so like they're not stiff, but like
I would say
the limp is probably, yeah.
say just judging just with her depth of training probably gave you a lot of like good stretches to help with that. Just because she trained so hard so fast when she was still like young, that she was like, yeah, you're going to be in terrible shape for a while. Let me tell you how to stretch so you don't actually hurt yourself.
Delightful.
That'll be included with the daily exercises and drills.
Delightful.
I would say that
And
Grim has
she's-
picked up on two wildly different teaching styles.
Yeah.
While Ilya was more like, you're going to learn by just copying me and learning. Say was like, here is the science of why we do this. This is very she's very like by the book teacher. While Ilya was more an intuitive teacher. Say was like, no, this is why this, when they do this, we do this. Like, it was very, I wouldn't say dry, but definitely two different teaching styles there.
Sort of experiential from Ilya and sort of the intellectual
Yeah.
approach. So I think they probably look better in a lot of ways right now, but they certainly look tired. Like they're moving slowly, like, yeah. And I think they walk in and it's so they look around and everyone is still a little wild-eyed, it sounds like, but a different way. And Erebus is reassuring Eliana that she's a gift.
Yes.
I think they take one look at this, and is the bar still strewn with shot glasses? And
It's been cleaned up, but
they're gonna look at the bartender, and look at Erebus, and look at Eliana. Let me. I would like to insight to how much babysitting Eliana is doing at this moment in time. 14. What's your vibe, Eliana?
The vibe is that like the worst of it is over, but like but she was an older sister. She is still an older sister at heart. The babysitting vibe has not left her.
Okay. They're going to look at the bartender and just do that like finger across their throat, like cut her off, and but point at Erebus.
right, kill Erebus, got it. I'll add it to the
That's
daily
correct.
chores.
I'm glad you're well trained.
Wait, what?
Elenia. It's not literal. Elenia, I think we need the adults upstairs currently, please. In the library, if you don't mind. And then they'll start slogging upstairs. Very slowly.
What was it about? But in between, I think we need to get and
I think,
library.
Elenia, adults upstairs, please.
Right, that means both of us.
Yes, it does. Oh my god. My brain is so wild right now.
Okay, let's go. I've got my
Yes.
water. You've got your water.
Yep.
Upstairs we go.
Reasonable conversation. Got it. Okay. And we go upstairs.
Keisha's still in the library.
I think when Corinne went upstairs, she did end up going into the library and is taking like examining the contracts that she has with a fine-tooth comb. Like
Ooh, okay.
looking for anything that might be like I don't know, like an insignia that's recognizable that's tied to a noble house, a style of writing that is indicative of a certain education level or training, or like anything that can provide a potential lead on this Abilene situation, because she's very much of the like the dots that she is thinking that she's connecting. So this mission that went south happened at a noble house. Her thought is that this happened at the Kyrell house.
So it looks like that contract is not reflected in these 3 contracts.
Right, but that job was off the books.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of where her mind is like,
True.
okay. So there is like that job was off the books, but that doesn't mean that it's not potentially connected to this one in some capacity. So like she's trying to figure out like, is it the Zents directly that have it out for the Kyrells, or is it someone else who hired them out who has it out for them?
Sure. Roll an insight check.
Okay.
Or investigation, either one.
We'll do insight. Come on, roll 20. 22.
22. So the thing that's getting you about these contracts is they're so aggressively regular. Like, they're ironclad, and 2, they all seem like all of these contracts were written by the same person. So it seems like the third party that they go through, which you could probably assume is Marco, does all of the writing of the contracts in order to specifically hide the information that you're looking for.
Sure.
But you do see some things here and there, specifically in the contract to get information about Pyria Kyrell that seems more personal. It doesn't seem personal like the contract, but it seems like it wasn't about her family so much as it was about her specifically.
Okay. So potentially someone that has a connection to Pyria specifically.
Yeah. It seems like the interest wasn't in the Kyrell family. Like, there's no mention of, like, and all information, you know.
Right.
It's very much like, no, I want to know Pyria's information.
Okay. Okay. So I think she's kind of mulling this over. And potentially, I think she's considering inviting Lord Illatel out for brunch to see what gossip he knows about potential break-ins at the Kyrell estate in the last year, but that has not happened yet. So I think that's where she is when everybody else kind of like comes up,
filters
like
upstairs.
clambers up, like she's just like she's just like bent over a desk, like just staring, like
paperwork,
boring holes with her eyes into these documents.
And I think, I mean, with how slowly Grim is moving, I think Eliana and Erebus catch them up the stairs just like they have no lead, so I think they all probably arrive at the same time. Unless the two are hanging back, and so they will sort of come in very like and do the same sort of like dropping their stuff, like the same way they unloaded the gear onto a chair before. They unload their gear onto a chair again, and I think just sort of collapse on another chair, like sideways, leaning up, legs over one arm.
Corinne does not look up.
Are you finding anything?
So it's interesting. I think it's a safe assumption to make that all of these contracts are written by the same person, just in terms of transcribing them. So they have individuals who come in, who need a specific task or item or what have you. All of them are all the contracts are drafted by the same person, just to obscure identities of who's actually making the request. But the contract about Pyria is specific to Pyria.
Oh.
It is not inquiring about anyone else in the family. So this is someone that has a specific interest in her.
Interesting.
And there's nothing there about say.
Nothing at all that I can see. If I had to, I'm making an educated guess here, but I would have to say that it's most likely that the attacks on Say have perhaps been a red herring. It's not exactly a secret that Say is sort of the black sheep of the Kyrell family. It's also not a secret that she is with the Gunslingers and the Lord's Alliance. Those are both groups that take strong individuals. So if someone gets attacked, that's less likely to be a lethal attack. So it could have been a message more along the lines of, this is what could happen to your youngest daughter, who is perhaps not quite as resilient in the same way that Say is.
Heather, could you remind me, was Pyria in the call when Say shot it up?
Sure was.
Okay.
She sure was.
Eliana, I was like, ooh, wait, she did the restoration, didn't she? I had forgotten. Sorry, it sounded like Eliana was going to say something.
Perhaps it would be good for us to check on Pyria.
If I can make a suggestion and say that if we can ask Say to check on Pyria, because I think it's more likely that that will arouse less suspicion than a group of unrelated individuals going to check on her.
Well, I mean, I owe Ivrin and Lyra a visit. I could see them and ask. But that Say is probably easier.
I mean, either one. I think the main thing is if someone... If a group of unrelated strangers who are adventurers, who are known within the city, we're not exactly under the radar ourselves at this stage. No. If it becomes known that we go and see Pyria, something's going to get tipped off.
That's fair. As long as someone does it, it does not have to be us.
I do have a question, though, thinking about this, and that's that if the Zents were invested in getting this information about her, why would Marco Fox let you see that contract?
Because it's not the Zents. They don't they're doing, for them it's business. This is a job. This is not something that it's an exchange, it's a transaction. It's the same sort of thing as if you go into a store and you say, yes, that, baguette, I'm quite fond of it, please let me have it. And then you never have another interaction with that baker again. It's just business.
Right.
And there's nothing here that's written that ties them to threats against Pyria. The document itself just is information extraction and gathering. Although we did learn that the flop house that Avalee was staying at, she apparently got things went south when a job that she was doing went wrong. There's an incident at a noble house. There's a job off the books, so there wouldn't be any documentation around it. They were supposed to leave something in the estate. They didn't. The job wasn't completed. There was a commotion. Someone got knifed. And Avali has disappeared.
Right.
And he has a reputation as a turncoat among the zones.
I think we may have it backwards. Part of it.
What do you mean by that?
I am thinking that say was not meant to be a warning. I am thinking that say was meant to be an instrument.
Of?
Looks at Corinne. Wasn't Pyria sitting with you?
Yes.
When Say fired at you.
But Say said that she was supposed to kill Alina.
Did say that?
She did, as far as her memories go. She was under a Gaius to kill Alina.
I thought it was so clever.
It may very well be.
I mean, modify memory is a spell.
Yeah.
I think Bim just shrugs. They're thinking very hard and not quickly.
So what I'm thinking is it's been a few weeks since I've had brunch with my good friend and local gossip, Lord Fell. I'd like to see if he knows anything about a kerfuffle at a noble estate about a year ago. Perhaps it was the Kyrell estate. Perhaps it was a different unrelated one. I don't know. But these sorts of things, when they happen, they tend to get hushed up very quickly, and if individuals disappear, they disappear, and no one really asks too many questions about it. I might check with him to see... He has his nose in a lot of places that he shouldn't, and I love that about him. Well, I can see if he knows anything, has heard anything.
He sounds like a good person to know.
He's fun. He's rather fun at parties.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I think Grim is going to hold up 2 fingers.
And Corinne holds up too, just from her position.
They'll fold one down. Juniper Cormalis is in Tikal.
Oh.
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 How did you get that from Karis's roster?
In a way.
Okay.
Mostly from Bones.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why we went to the tower. Got it. Okay, great.
It is seeming as though we are going to need to go there at some point. I don't know if that is... Well, we have a time limit on that mission, so... May very well be sooner.
We have a month.
Alright, which is not a lot of time, but not... we don't have to go there tomorrow either.
Is she safe? Do you know?
They shrug. No reason to think particularly either direction.
Okay.
No reason
So,
to.
no imminent peril. Yeah.
None that we're aware of, although sort of they shrug again.
Okay.
Well, we can at least provide an update to Kane Kyrell that there's a connection to the Zents specifically. That there's a reason to believe that Pyria in particular is a person of interest in terms of a target. And see if we can get some. We can ask him if there's anyone that's been poking their nose around her specifically.
Not, then you can have your brunch.
And I can have my brunch. So I don't think we need to solve the Kyrell case, as it were, immediately. I do think it would be prudent to provide an update. And if there's
Yes,
something concrete that we can provide in terms of like, hey, here's the leads that we have, that's at least giving something to Lord Kyrell that we have not forgotten this work.
He knows we're working on it, yeah.
Exactly.
yes.
Good
Okay.
nod.
And if we can provide information to him that we believe Pyria specifically is at risk, he can do with that information what he will.
Yes, I should not like to see ill come to Pyria.
Do we know where to find Period these days?
She
This is
lives,
Hannah asking.
Sure, she lives at home at the Kyrell estate.
That's right.
So
Okay, thank you.
she's also a priestess of Talos, so
hmm
theoretically she's doing priestess things.
We could also let Period herself know that.
Certainly could.
Good,
Both
but
is
we,
good.
we didn't want to get too close to her ourselves.
No, but
I
we
think-
can give Say the message.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I think that was the thought there. Either say or gestures at Erebus, the
Yeah.
other sibling.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Corinne holds up her other finger and kind of like looks at Grim, like expectantly.
Oh, that was... And sort of hold up two again and sort of wiggle one. The Carvels, and then wiggle the other. And Cormalis.
Oh, okay. Great.
All right.
All right. I will write to Lyra. Let her know that we're in town for a bit and I'd like to visit like I said I would. Whatever y'all would like me to ask about while I'm there, I am open to. But if we want to go more covert, we can get the message through Say, either way.
I don't know that necessarily needs to be covert. I just don't think. I think the message should be delivered by a member of the family
Mm-hmm.
who sees Pyria, Pyria, other than us going to see her.
Sure. Nope, that makes sense.
I think
And I
perhaps
will
keep it
go ahead.
with the... Say is aware of the situation. We don't know if the other one is.
That is true.
I would offer to take it to her, but I don't know that I have enough to walk to the court and back again today.
I can go unless you want to, Eliana.
I could do that, but I don't feel strongly about it. You can go ahead and get the message off.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
And And I will schedule brunch for myself for tomorrow morning.
Great.
Good.
Plan.
All right. So with plans in place, we're gonna call it for the evening.
Delightful.
All right.
Incredible.
Rim would like
Wow.
to send 2 one-line messages via bosun.
Okay.
One of them to say, that's just, how sure are you that it was Alina you were supposed to shoot?
Ooh.
And one to Bones, do you know of any way to change someone's memory?
Okay.
I like that.
Answers to
Yeah.
those next week, or not next week,
Delightful.
next game.
Next session.
Oh.
Ooh.
And Erebus is going to very quickly apologize to Corinne and try not to make a big deal about it.
Corinne's just kind of like, for what?
Being a dumbass. Thank you and sorry.
Oh, I am positive that it will not be the last time that you are, but apology accepted.
Sure. Well, hopefully in different ways next time.
And this one was very entertaining for a while.
Well, then I'm glad to have done that, I guess.
You know what you can do as a favor to me, as an apology?
Is
She pulls out the Paladin book.
what do you want me to do with that book?
Can I read you pages 157 to 159?
She looks very aggrieved and then says, tomorrow?
Tomorrow's acceptable.
Okay. Because if I let you read it to me now when I have to walk to the court, I might not be able to look Romuel in the eye.
But that would be some fun for me to hear about.
If I die of embarrassment, you won't be hearing about it.
No, that's fair. All
Right.
right.
We'll do
tomorrow.
our tasks, and then after your brunch, you can torment me as much as you want.
Just those 3 pages, that's all.
Oh, good. Great. Yep. No problem.
Corinne looks very pleased and then heads out.
All right, that's it.
Amazing.